Y'all know what time it is. We usually start around 9:30. We start at 10. It was 10 today. We did a late start. But you know what? It's life. Things happen. We got to make sure we go with the punch, go with the flow, and roll with the punches. You're listening to All Burgundy and Go Everything powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. I'm Wole, and I'm joined with my guy, George, the homie Glen. Hopefully he's running late. We'll check on Glen later. Maybe he will jump on late. What's going on, George?
It's been a good first week of college basketball. I'm so glad the season is back.
I know, right? I mean, we got some competitive games, right? I'm glad you
Man, I mean, Maryland Eastern Shore almost shocked everybody on Tuesday night. Everybody had their eyes on that game. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they're doing. I mean, the program started. I mean, Coach Hill. You talking about the men's team, right? Coach.
Yeah, the men's team.
Coach Hill. You know, last year was his first year. Now he got, and he, it's hard to get your own guys that year. You got to get a bunch of, transfers, and recruiting is a little difficult. But he got more of his guys now, so they were very competitive against Georgia Tech. So it's good, man. It's a good time, man. Good time to be a Shore alumni.
Hawk pride, baby. Hawk pride.
Catch it, man. Catch it. What's going on, Paul? It's ABG After Dark. You already know. We know how we do. It's after dark. You know what time it is, man. But yeah, we got some stuff to talk about, man. It was interesting. There's been some interesting pressers this week after the debacle against the Seattle Seahawks. Interesting pressers. That's why this is why this topic came to fruition. To be honest with you.
Really? Yeah. Goodness.
All right, yeah. So, hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Also, tweet us at ABG_Everything. It is up on IG and TikTok at ABG_Everything. Make sure you subscribe to the All Burgundy and Go Everything YouTube channel. If you're in the YouTube chat, we accept super chats. Super chats help us support our show. The super chats will be prioritized over all comments in the chat. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that red subscribe button again, and also like the video right now. If you're on here right now on YouTube, please like this video. We are also streaming live on the Urban Sports Scene X account as well. All right, it's time for pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We're going to debate whether we think Joe Whitt Jr. is realistically on the hot seat. And we come to this news from this situation. Earlier this week, Dan Quinn said that defensive coordinator Joe Whitt Jr. will be leaving the booth and coaching from the field. Yes. So to you, starting this, George, this question for you. Does moving Joe Whitt Jr. from the booth to the sideline indicate a strategic adjustment, or is this a clear sign that Dan Quinn is losing patience with his defensive coordinator?
I hate to say this because it doesn't bode well, but I wonder if this is totally performative. Mm-hmm. If this is Dan Quinn saying, well, everybody's complaining, everybody's putting the heat on my guy, so let me see if I can satisfy the masses by saying, oh, well, we're moving Joe Whitt down to the sideline, as if that's going to make a dadgum difference. Because I got news for you, Wole, that isn't going to change diddly as far as I'm concerned. So I mean, hopefully, I'd love to be wrong about this, but I mean, it's closing the barn door when the horse is already bolted. This team has lost 3 games in a row by 21 or more points, which hasn't happened for a long time. I saw the stat, now I forgot it, but it's been a long time since somebody's lost 3 consecutive games by that, and that's probably what's going to happen Sunday too. Let's be honest. So, I mean, if it changes something, great. Maybe it will. I don't know. I'm not buying it. I don't think it's going to do anything, and I hope fans see it for what it is just a cosmetic measure that doesn't change anything.
Yes, I think it's a next course of action type of move, right? Like you're trying to find a situation where you're trying to fix everything. Joe Whitt came out and said that Dan Quinn on the game was on Sunday, right? So Dan Quinn on Monday said something about Joe Whitt moving down to the field, and then Joe Whitt, I think his presser was today. Today's Thursday. Yeah, today had his presser today, and he said that it was his idea. He went to Coach Quinn and said that he wanted to go, out. He wanted to come down to the field because players asked him to come down to the field. And he said, you know what, he wanted to listen to his guys. So, if his guys said, okay, why not? Let's try and make it work. I don't know. I don't know what to believe with this situation. Actually, I do know what to believe. Yeah. Old man, lost 8-7-1. Yeah, I'm not buying it either. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm definitely not buying it.
It's bull.
I know. I honestly, I think that it's. I won't lie to you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was gonna give y'all like this whole PC approaches things. I think they lied. I think Dan Quinn was like, bro, like I'm trying to save your gig. We gotta change this. We gotta change this. One way or the other, we gotta change this. So we gotta see what happens. I'm gonna give you a chance. Maybe you can do better on the field because what you're doing on the booth ain't working. Well, I feel like Dan Quinn is like there's a sense of loyalty I do have for you. You're my guy. We have a relationship. We have a relationship. You've been with me in Dallas. I'm gonna give you all the chances to be successful, to try to turn this thing around. So hey, let's try it on the field because obviously it ain't working. It ain't working in the booth. So yeah, when I saw that, I won't lie to you, I was like, yeah, you're just trying. Now you're grasping at straws. And Paul, I'm gonna give Paul credit because he said it. He said in the chat that we were all in. He said, this is like the next step, though. Like I can't take credit for saying that. Paul said this. This is like the next step to maybe him not being here. So, but yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. Like when I saw the news of him going to the booth, I was like, going to the field. I was like, oh, like now they're just desperate. They're trying anything, and he needs the players to save his job. Yeah, he needs his players to save his job. I agree.
He needs to put them in better positions to do that.
Yeah. So yeah, cliches. Yeah,
Blessings, Michael.
Cliche that. Yeah, cliche Dan is common. He's definitely fake as a dollar bill. I didn't think that. But no, I think Joe Whitt. Go ahead.
I just think I watched a lot of Popeye cartoons, and every now and then I still watch them on TV when they come on.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a character called Wimpy, and he always says this. He always says, "I'm going to pay you next Tuesday for a hamburger today," and he never pays you. And that's what this kind of reminds me of is, well, I mean, we're going to do all these changes. We're going to do all this. Haven't we been through this before? Haven't we been through this with other regimes?
Mm-hmm.
Remember bringing in what's his name, who was a bingo caller to help the offensive coordinator?
What was his name?
Oh, the guy he used to be in Green. He was in Green Bay forever.
Oh God, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Ray Sherman.
Ray Sherman.
Something
Ray
like
Sherman.
that.
Yeah, Sherman.
Who was a great offensive assistant. Worked with quarterbacks, worked with offense. I think he was Holmgren's guy for a long time, or one of Holmgren's guys. And he was calling bingo apparently, and we brought him in to help. I don't even remember who it was.
Wasn't it Jim Zorn?
I'm trying to remember what.
Was he helping Jim Zorn?
That sounds right. He could have been Zorn. It all runs together. It all runs together after all this time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like that. And it's like, who are you kidding at this point? You're 3-5. You're 3-6, and you got the team that you beat in the playoffs coming into your stadium with that devastating offense, and they're teed off because they played like garbage coming off the bye and lost at home. Mm-hmm. Like who? Maybe it's Sherm Lewis. Maybe that's who it is. Sherm Lewis.
No,
Santiago.
Yeah, Sherman.
Sherm Lewis.
It's Sherman. No, it's Sherman. It's something Sherman.
Okay.
Sherman Lewis. I think Sherman Lewis. It's Santiago to Sherman Lewis.
Yeah, no, I think Sherman Lewis. Yeah, I think Santiago might.
I know it was Sherman something. It was Sherman. Go ahead though. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, stop kidding us. Dan's got to know that it's about to become untenable for his defensive coordinator. Because if it doesn't, it's going to become untenable for him.
Mm-hmm.
He can't be so in the bubble and dense that he doesn't know this. And I just don't even play these games with us. Don't even try and play these. The players wanted him down on the field.
No, Dan didn't say that. Dan didn't say the players wanted. That's not Dan. That's who said the players want him down. That was Joe Whitt on Thursday. I mean today.
Oh,
Joe Whitt said that it was his idea. Dan didn't say anything. All Dan said. Let me clarify it for folks if I confuse folks. Dan said on Monday that Joe Whitt would be going from the booth to the field. That's all Dan said.
Okay.
So change it. Okay. So change your perspective, whatever. Because he said calls, and he explained calls could be a little bit quicker if he wants to. If he want to change calls, he said you won't see the field as easily because you're obviously you're in the booth, you see the field easier. But then on today, Joe Whitt said, it was I went to Dan to ask to go go to the field. He said the only reason I did this because players approached me and said we want you out there. It may change something. Intensity, you know what I mean?
I guess we could give Joe Whitt a nice gold star for original thinking coming up with that, but it's
coming up with a lie of saying he's the first one. Yeah, I'm about to say, because that's a lie. I know. Yes. I think that's a lie to me. I think they did it over. What I do think is they all got together and said, "This is what the story is going to be." All right. So when you go out there on Thursday, which is today, you're gonna say this. You're gonna say it was your idea. All right. So you don't.
At least he's still from the media because we've had plenty of coordinators who wouldn't even do that when it got bad.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like him coming out and saying that it was his idea to go from the booth. Not his idea that the player said you should come down. You know what I mean? That way you can help things out because of practice, they see how it works in practice. Maybe he should be down, which it is. Like some coordinators a lot of coordinators are down, so it's not like they're not. A lot of defensive coordinators are down. I believe like the Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator. I think he's on the field. There's a lot of coordinators on the field. But I don't think grasping at straws. I don't think he's going to change anything. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't think him. You are like you being on the field and you'll be on the field or upstairs doesn't really. You are who you are, like you know what I mean. Obviously, there's frustrations of giving up explosive plays and whatnot, but you are who you are. You know what I mean?
And to do it before a game against this offense.
That's what I'm saying too.
Weapons,
yeah.
That's like wild.
Yeah, I guess that's where I'm coming from with it. I think I would have done it against another offense. Like I would have done it. Truth be told, I probably would have done it more against Seattle than I would have done it against this offense.
Or do it against Miami.
That too. I would wait. Yeah, that too. So you can at least, then you can at least say, "Oh, it worked." You can lie and say, "Oh, it worked." You had a better chance.
Honestly, Wole.
Yeah.
I just can't believe we're back here. This is Shanahan, Zorn, Rivera, Spurrier. This is the kind of stuff we've been putting up with since we were in college, since we were that age. And here we are in our bigger ages now. And I just can't believe we're here again. Even with the new owner. We can't even blame this on Dan Snyder. That's the worst part.
I mean, this is
ludicrous.
Oh, Santiago said we're the Redskins again.
It's true. I say it.
They told us this like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I know they did. What did Todd say? Todd, my beef again is that this insanity. John Comm on his podcast said that the reporters saw some of the this bad stuff during training camp, especially during the New England scrimmage. I have an issue with that. Don't be using John Comm, Todd. We said that on the show with Candy. Candy said it on the show. Screw John Comm. Candy said it on the show about the she saw the warning signs of the Patriots game.
And it's my recollection that not Candy, but the other Washington reporters were saying, well, it was a good, but they really didn't get into specifics.
Because they didn't want to say it. They didn't want to say it.
It feels like they glossed over the defense during the preseason.
They did.
And Candy's going to tell us, but Candy's always going to tell us the truth.
She told us on the show, though. She told us on the show.
Yeah.
She told us on the show.
I mean, that's why we appreciate her so much, because she's not gonna pull any punches either.
Yeah, she said they weren't that. Yeah, it wasn't that good. Even Donna was pretty blunt with it too. Mark Anderson says, Dan Quinn and Adam Peters should get a lot of blame. Joe Whitt needs to be fired, as well as Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah, man. Don't worry about Cliff Kingsbury. I think Cliff's gonna be gone.
Cliff is. Some poor college is going to give Cliff $7 or $8 million a year and regret it, and then go right ahead.
I don't think Cliff has his whole heart in this season. To be real with you,
I'm with you that.
What we got?
I'm with you on that.
Thank you, George. Wole and Tasha put up with the run I had this week. Yeah, sure did. If AP can't blame Ron, exactly, can't blame Ron for this.
It's his players, but he can blame Ron that he didn't have more of a base to build off of. Because 4 years of drafting, and most of the high picks, except for Quan Martin, weren't here. Were got rid of because they weren't any good.
I would agree with you. If you didn't go to the NFC Championship game, I give you more leeway. He's your draft pick. I'm sorry, it's part of your team.
I understand that, but.
I'm not taking no. I'm not taking
rookie season in the history of the NFL.
Well, I can say Chase Young knee injury screwed a lot of things up. I mean, injuries happen.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
you know what
true.
I mean.
But bad coaching screwed him up too. Jack
we can say that, but the knee injury kind of changed his trajectory of the squad. I'm just saying,
fair.
I'm gonna be real. I don't look at this team, and then we win games with Jayden we won games with Mariota last year, and we played well. I'm not saying that he's gonna, and just to be fair, we keep saying even Jayden hasn't been Jayden of last year, so it's not even.
That's why we fell off a cliff.
Yeah, but I think it's more than Jayden. It's more than Jayden.
It's more than Jayden.
It's more than Jayden.
It's certainly more than Jayden. But I want to make this point.
Yeah,
Jayden was so great last year.
He was.
But to get us to where we were last year, he was going to have to be greater because we were going to have a tougher schedule, because we were have a lot of players who are 1 year older. Yeah. And where you can blame AP is he put his faith in these very old veterans to maybe produce it one more time, and he didn't have it in him.
Well, I'm going to be real. It's more than that, though. It's really more than that. It's not even just putting faith.
Okay.
You were you were banking on repeating what you did last year as a unit, period, not thinking that teams don't get better the following year, not thinking that teams don't improve, not thinking that teams gonna have film on you. Mikey had a great year last year. What is Mikey don't look as close as he don't look near what he did last year. You got players
you decide they shouldn't have.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too. But look, I mean, but he doesn't look the same like he did last year. You got Quan doesn't look as good as he did last year. That's a drop off. People they get film on you. You're not now adjust. You can't live off of what you did last year. Your scheme, your defense wasn't great last year, but also if I got film on your scheme and then now I see how I can penetrate it and find the weaknesses, then you're screwed. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot and to what we've all said as a whole organization, they really got lazy this year. And just how they tackle free agency, to be honest with you, they tackled it, to your point, George, banking on the same formula that worked for them last year. We're gonna get 1 year dudes and work off of that. That's not gonna work every year. It worked last year. And those dudes did they play well for you? You know what I'm saying? Zacchaeus played well for you. You got Jameson Crowder on this team, played well for you. But now you changed up. We're just gonna go to the draft. We're gonna give Luke McCaffrey a bigger role. We're gonna give. We're gonna draft the kid, Jalen
Lane.
We're gonna bring in Noah. We're gonna keep Noah Brown. They made decisions that really hindered their team. Period. Not just Jayden not being special hurts, but we're talking about not being competitive. Jayden, I'm talking about not the wins and losses, just to play on the field. Jayden put us over the top because he was so great, but we were still competing. We competed with. When Jayden was down with Mariota, we can compete. I'd say now we look sloppy. And I'm talking about both sides. The only side of football that looks strong is special teams.
That's correct.
That's the fairest thing to say.
How much How much do we blame AP for not keeping Jeremy Chin? Because I think we were blaming the agent because he was the same agent as McLaurin.
So I knew I was right about this. I'll say this. AP lowballed Chin. That's what happened. So I'm gonna be real. They thought they can keep him. They lowballed him. They lowballed Chin. What's what? They lowballed Chin. And then Chin was like, all right, I'll come back to you guys. And he went to the Raiders, and Raiders gave him a really fair offer, and he said, I'm gonna take it. Well, you know, like
a 2-year deal.
Yeah, but you know how it's life. It's life. If you insult me, or just like Terry, it's not hard to believe. People like when Terry's initial offer, you thought it was a low ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, yep, exactly. DC Slim. You thought it was a bad offer, right? The initial offer was bad, right? Right? The initial offer was bad, right?
Yes.
So it's similar to Chin. But see the difference between Chin and Terry, the difference is Terry's under contract, right?
That's correct.
So he can't go nowhere. They lowball Chin. He's not under contract. So what do you think is gonna happen? I'm not coming back to you. You disrespected me. I'm not coming back to you. So he signed the deal. That's what happened. So it ain't. So yes, AP is. So yes, AP is very cheap. That's how he works it. And that's what it is. That's the Chin situation for you. We got here. We got some comments. To depend on Lane as a rookie was a bad decision. Yeah, it was. It really was. And I like. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say it in hindsight because I did kind of like the kid. I thought he gonna be. I did too. I did like the kid. But yeah, it seems like I think we put a lot of pressure on him though. Real talk, we put a lot of pressure on him. You got a lot of comments. I'm trying to make sure. I know super chats. I prioritize them, but I'm just gonna read through them because I see them because I can't. There's a lot of comments right now. Hold on. Here we go. Mike, Quinn keep talking about getting pressure from the defensive front and the offensive line can't even protect Jayden long enough. He has no one he can trust to throw it to. He don't. I saw a lot of and we can go into. We're going to talk about Joe Whitt Jr. But I've seen a lot. We're going to still talk about. We're going to tackle a lot of stuff today, so I won't even lie. I saw a lot of. Oh, thanks, Taj. Appreciate it. I was just joking around. Okay, Taj's question. Thank you. Where do you start first? Address coaching staff, players, or improve all season programs? Ooh, that's a good one, Taj.
This is a good one.
I would do the coaching staff first. I think you handle what you handle in the draft. The draft is, if you do your job in the draft, you don't got to worry about that much. But I would say coaching staff. I need that to be situated. I need the coaching staff to be situated. Appreciate you, Taj. That would be first. I would bank on the draft and drafting right. That would be whatever. But I would handle that as soon as the season starts. Season ends. I'm making my decision. I'm not lollygagging. I'm not playing with it. As soon as the season ends, boom. If I'm rocking with Joe Whitt Jr., I'm rocking with Joe Whitt Jr. If I'm rocking with Joe Whitt Jr., I'm going heavy. Let me put it this way, Taj. If they go and say they keep Joe Whitt Jr. or they keep Cliff Kingsbury, they keep both of them. But again, I think Cliff is gone. I think Cliff is just going to be gone. So don't get it twisted. I think he's going to be gone. But if they say they come back, we'll just play devil's advocate. I'm signing thorough players now. I'm not playing with the pay less players type of thing. I'm signing the best of the best. I'm not even, because I know I need bona fide studs to make things happen. I'm making sure I'm keeping Debo. I'm keeping Debo. If I got Cliff, I'm keeping Debo. You know what I'm saying? And I'm bringing in the best. If Kyle Pitts is a free agent, I'm bringing in Kyle Pitts because he's athletic. I'm bringing in dudes like that. To be real with you. DC Slim, appreciate you, my guy. Said that whole coaching staff was purchased on the cheat. Nobody wanted these clowns.
Not true.
I liked, at the time, no. Everybody.
You can maybe say that about Whitt, but Cliff Kingsbury was actually going to another job.
No. People changed his mind. No, Cliff. People wanted Cliff. Folks wanted Cliff. The money is there to be spent. I agree, Santiago. The money is there to be
I want to
spent.
answer the original question because
Go for it. Go ahead.
I agree with you. Coaching staff is first. But going back to something I've complained about a lot, off-season programs and training camps got to change. And that is an Adam Peters and Dan Quinn conversation.
Yeah.
Now I would hope we don't have any significant issues getting players signed in the offseason and that we will not go through this agony again next year. But I'm going to need Terry McLaurin and everybody else that's supposed to be there for mini camps to be there. Whether optional, mandatory, whatever. Because after a season like this, don't sit here and say, well, I'm a veteran, I don't need to show up. No. You better turn up. Because I mean, if this team really falls in a hole and tanks and ends up with a top 5, 6, 7 pick, this will have been a disaster of 3 Mile Island proportions. So I'm going to need everybody to do that. I'm going to need a training camp that is a real training camp. And I'm going to need starters to play in preseason games. And I don't give a damn about the joint practices, honestly. I'd rather they have no joint practices and play in the preseason games. Because a joint practice is not real preparation if you can't hit the quarterback, as a for instance.
Yeah.
You got to play a real game, which means you hit the quarterback, which means they can hit your quarterback and you can hit theirs, and all of that. And look, if the other teams are not going to play their starters, more fool them. You play yours and get them ready. Because the player angle, Wole's right. You're going to spend money in free agency. I'm already tub thumping for team trade back if this team is picking high enough, because we need quantity as much as we need quality in the draft. And I know that's disappointing because people are talking about Arvell Reese and Reuben Bain and Caleb Downs. And I understand all that. Those are all players that can help this team right away. But is one guy in round 1 going to be enough when we could get a guy in round 1 and then get somebody in round 2 and then get somebody in round 3 or 4 or get somebody in 2027 extra, that kind of thing. But this offseason program has to totally change. We were not preparing like a championship team this year, and you see the results we've got.
Mike, his question says, George and Wole, would you sit the vets the rest of the season and play the younger players the last 7 games to see what we got? You can start with that, George. I'll let you go first. Hold on.
I would decrease the vets' time. You need to have Bobby Wagner out there for some plays. It would be good to have Von Miller out there for some plays. But you need to get the Jordan McGee's, the Kane Madranos, the Ale Cajos, their snaps. Johnny Newton's healthy. He's got to be out there as much as possible. Connerly, I know he's been having a hard time. He's got to be out there as much as possible. Although, again, that does increase the danger for the quarterback because he's having a tough time at the moment. Again, I'm gonna bank on him coming good because we've seen something. I want to see Brandon Coleman, unless he is totally in the doghouse and he's not doing what he's supposed to in practice. I want to see Brandon Coleman. If I'm sitting a vet, it's honestly Sam Cosmi, but I don't know if we can. I don't know if we've already broken the seal on that, and at this point, it's just better to play him because he's got to play himself back into shape at this point and get himself ready for next year. But in general, I ain't seeing – I don't want to see the vets out there all the time. I do not want to see Bobby Wagner with 100% of the snaps in particular. I want to see McGee, Cajo, Madrano, and live with it. And I want Sandra Steele outside – at where he flourished last year, and we'll have to live with those consequences. He may get broiled and flambéed this weekend, but it's clear that moving him back inside screwed him up for this year. And maybe if he gets back outside and regains his confidence, that will help them for next year as well.
All right, my man Phil has a question. Actually, I posted a little earlier, but I want to go back to it. It says, why y'all blaming Joe Whitt? All right, so this is, I mean, I'm very consistent. So I've been saying Joe Whitt hasn't been great to me since
Well,
last
you
year.
could almost go full screen on this because
I
I wouldn't
mean,
blame you a bit
all right, hold
because
on.
you've been preaching on this one for a while.
All right, one, I mean, there's so much. Like, he's not, to me, people always use the whole he don't got talent, he don't got this, he don't got that, he dealing with injuries, this, that, and the other. It depends on what you think of Joe Whitt, to be honest with you. And I don't, you know what, George, I ain't gotta go full. I don't even gotta go full screen on this one. Actually, I just thought about it. I don't, because it's gonna be.
Okay.
I'm not gonna even go in like I need to go in. But I will say this though, is that he's very like people use injuries all the time. Like, and I've said this before. Like, if you think that he's just an adequate coordinator, then that's fine. Is that what you want? That's fine. Then you have to blame Adam Peters for not giving him superstar talent on multiple sides, multiple positions on the defense side of football on the football field. But if you think that he's a good coordinator, a really good coordinator, which I don't think he is, then what he's doing is no excuse to be this bad. Like, to be real with you, there's no excuse to be this bad because we always every year. This is my thing about, because I can name you a boatload of coordinators have had less talent that have produced a better defense. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. And you would say, wow, how is that? The Vikings don't have the talent that we have. Truth be told, we said this. We said that Jonathan Allen is trash, and Jonathan Allen is a starting D tackle on that defense, and their defense is better than our defense. We crucified Emmanuel Forbes of being a horrible cornerback. He's a starting cornerback for the LA Rams and playing well over there. You know what I mean? Like, it's levels to this. Feel like you think he like it, like if we're going to say, like, to me, his coach, which makes it bad though. I mean, a lot of you feel what makes it worse is that the head coach is a better defensive coach than him. Like, I would prefer him to take over all defensive responsibilities than Joe Whitt Jr. because his head coach is way better than him. Like, you know what I mean? And he's green at being a D coordinator. That's the main thing. Like, he has no. There's nothing I can rely on Joe Whitt and say, well, he did this before. He is young. He is a rookie in this. He's a second-year defensive coordinator. It's not like year one, it wasn't spectacular. Year one, he really wasn't. You know, like I said before, Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury came up, had a good game plan of keeping that defense off the field. We were great in time of possession. We were. So it's not that I'm not hating on him. It's never been a fan of him. I don't think he's that good. Now, if you're telling me like he needs more talent, then yeah, he does need more talent. He does. I won't lie to you, because he's not good enough to coach people up to be good. You got to be great talent for him to be good at his job. He can't scheme you into being decent. Like, that's what's so great about Bill Belichick. Like, he schemed a lot of that stuff for his defense he outsmarted offensive coordinators. Like, Joe Whitt doesn't outsmart an offensive coordinator. You feel me? Like, he does not. What's going on, DC Telly? What's going on, my man Telly? What's good? Like, Joe Whitt don't, but Telly
See,
says,
dude.
but I do say this is Telly says something. Telly, I'm gonna get Telly his flowers too. My man Telly was like on a post, and I was like, yeah, I need to be like you. Telly was like, he was very calm, he was very level-headed. Telly was like, give him 3 years, and then after that, see where he's at. And I was like, dang, that doesn't make sense. That is just like a young player. I would say the same thing. 3 years, then I'm like, typically you can see where he's at. He was like, let's change the Washington, the Washington narrative, the Washington movement. We've done this in the past. You usually give people like a year or two, and then we get rid of them. Give them 3 years and then see what's up. You know what I mean? So, Telly, I do appreciate like that thought process. You're accurate. You're accurate, Telly. I just don't want to do it, but you were accurate, though. I won't lie to you. But go ahead.
Yeah, and again, Telly's coming from the right place, and he's doing the best he can with what I think is an impossible argument to make, but he's doing the best he can with it.
We got
and
super chat too.
And Telly's sincere, so I know he's not trolling or any of that kind of stuff.
Oh, Telly's very sincere. Let me
yeah.
super chat, my man DC Slim. I had to make sure. Can y'all pull up the roster so we can see who so we can see who we have the same amount of players as the rest of the league. We have the same amount of players as the rest of the league. Oh, the roster with the Vikings. Pull up the roster. Let me see what I got here.
Slim, we have the same 53 active or 47 or whatever it is.
He said compared to like other
that
teams,
everybody else has on a Sunday.
He's talking about what did he say? You talking about players?
I think he's basically saying we don't have enough players because he's kind of making fun of. I think he's actually kind of boosting your point about not using the talent, and that to me is the biggest. That's the only thing I will add to your otherwise excellent summation of why we're blaming Joe Whitt.
Yeah,
Joe Whitt, much like his offensive counterpart, he's not using the talent. I'll add this: he is inflexible in terms of using different tactics and defenses to try to change what's going on. And the biggest thing is, somebody mentioned it, Michael Penix carving us up, but we're being carved up by the same things every week. Wide receivers lined up in the backfield, getting wide open. The stack receiver concept and having and basically picking off a corner or safety and the guys running wide open. That's the case against Joe Whitt, is that everybody's seen what works against this team. Everybody's doing it, and he has not figured out a solution. And you can blame AP and say we don't have enough talent on defense, and that's a fair statement. It doesn't change the fact that Joe Whitt has shown not 1 ounce of ability to adjust or change or come up with something different or use different players to try to fix the situation. And that's what this comes down to. So, I mean, I understand where like Telly and others are coming from that are saying this isn't all Joe Whitt's fault. Adam Peters has got to take the blame. That's true. I just happen to think that Joe Whitt is particularly awful at his job and that there are a lot of defensive coordinator prospects out there who could do better.
Well, I don't think Tully's saying that he's not. I don't think Tully's saying that it's like AP's fault, because he's actually siding with all of them. I think my man Tully was just like, he was saying like, it's 3 years. Like, we've always get rid of people early. It's like 3 years. Let's see what after the third year. Let's see what he may get better. Like, I guess. Like, because it's been the whole Washington thing. We have a quick fuse with everything. So
no, we do. We have a quick trigger.
Yeah, quick trigger.
Thank you, Telly.
Appreciate
you so
man.
much.
Great way to talk about that night with George and Wole. Appreciate you too. The offense hasn't helped the defense either. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Because 100%. I said, like, because Telly, we all watched last year's team, man. Like, the off which made this defense better. And to your point, Telly, even that's why the Kansas City game blows me, because I don't really blame Joe Whitt in that game, to be real with you. I think Cliff dropped the ball on that one. But what made the defense so much like better last year is that we kept them off the football field. You know what I'm saying? We kept them. Thank you. Wole was in the killer camp. I know I was. And Todd, you on the Joe Whitt camp. I'll take the Cliff camp over Joe Whitt camp any day of the week. Jeez. But yeah, what made Joe Whitt's defense better was that we didn't get to see him on the field like that much, because Cliff would win the time of possession. Cliff and Jaden in that offense would win the time of possession. We would be on the field. Now they're not on the field as long, and you get to see what happens. Like, your defense is putrid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's terrible. So it is what it is. But like, again, we'll see how it all plays out with Joe Whitt Jr. I just feel like, I think this is definitely important. This time frame right now of games is important, especially like when we're looking at the upcoming game in Detroit. So I'm gonna ask you this question, George: how much pressure is on Joe Whitt to have a good showing in this Detroit game, knowing he's coming from the booth down to the field?
I mean, I guess there is pressure, but honestly, who in their right mind thinks Washington can contain this Detroit offense? Who in their right mind is sitting here saying, "Oh, Washington needs to hold Detroit to 14 or 21 points. They should be able to do that." Mm-hmm. I mean, I know Detroit was bad last week against Minnesota, and let's be clear, they were bad. But this offense has hung 50-something on somebody this year. They got a couple 40 burgers. Jared Goff, I mean, that's the thing. And remember something, they lost their offensive coordinator, and some idiots, like this idiot that's talking right now, thought, oh, their offense is going to fall apart without Ben Johnson. Sure, that's not the case. They've been moving the ball up and down the field on just about everybody this year.
Yeah.
So, except for Green Bay, that's actually the only one they haven't done it against was Green Bay. So, I suppose there's pressure. Like, if it's as embarrassing as the first half against Seattle, then God only knows what the fans are going to be like, what few there may be in there that were wearing burgundy and gold. But nobody can go into this game with any expectation, surely. I mean, that's just, you can't possibly expect much of anything out of this defense against Detroit, given the things that we struggle with and given the firepower they have at their disposal. Welcome, Glen.
Welcome, Glen. What's good, bro?
Nothing much, brothers. Nothing much.
Let me get your opinion, man. Glen, when you heard the news that Joe Whitt Jr. is going from the booth, going from the booth to the field, what was your thoughts?
He's still crazy. But you're still gonna mess up, right? Let's be honest. Coming from the booth and from the field, you have a better view from the field. I mean, from the booth.
Yeah, right? About to say, yeah.
You have a better view from the booth,
right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To come down to the field implies that the coaches that you've hired or the coaches that you're with can't do their job. So it implies that you need to have a better presence on the field because you're not seeing anything better. That means you can what it seems to me that you do a better job motivating from the field than you do from the booth. Now players can come to you. So all the excuses after this Sunday can be thrown out the window. Because if you still can't galvanize the defense and you're on the field, and you can't see better because you see better from the booth, not the field anyway, then you shouldn't have the job because nothing's changed. So it's not his position, it's the position of the players that's on the field. I mean, unless he's a great motivator, which it doesn't seem like he is to me, I think we'll get the same result. But to me, I thought it was a whole bunch of PR for nothing because it doesn't make any difference.
Let me actually follow up with that. Cause you got great points, man. Because what you said is kind of true to what even what Joe Whitt said today. He was like, it was more they wanted his energy. Like they felt like he said that a couple players came to him and said, yo, could you come down on the field? You know what I mean? He according to Joe Whitt, I don't believe it though. But according to Joe Whitt, he was saying it was his idea to go to Dan and say, I need to be on the field because players came to approach him and said they wanted him on the field.
And then there lies again, which coaches were not doing their job.
If true, right? If true.
If true, which coaches were not doing their job on the field.
Yeah. So that's why I don't believe it. But that is what it is. It's a whole different thing. But to your second point of all right, so if it and I asked George this, but if it doesn't work, like I guess say this Detroit game, like how much pressure is on him for it to at least have his defense look way better than it did against Seattle? Because if we had to compare the two offenses, we would normally say before Seattle did what they did to us, we would look at the schedule and be like, Detroit got their defense, their offense is way better than Seattle. So going into this game, how much pressure is it for Joe Whitt to see big time improvement from what we saw against the Seahawks to what we have to see against the Lions?
Has to be great improvement. I mean, you can't get mollywopped, right? If the game, let's be honest, the game was over against Seattle in the second quarter. They put up 24 on you, all right? It's 24 points in the second quarter. You can't have that happen, right? That can't happen. Defense needs to be able to get after the ball. They need to be able to cause a turnover. We know, I mean, and I'm not trying to compare to last year.
Yeah, I got you.
And we talked about it, and I talked about it again today with somebody. if Detroit runs the football last year, Washington doesn't win the NFC East championship.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't win the championship game. I mean, they don't get to the championship game. So again, if Detroit can run the football to this year or run the football on Sunday, Washington doesn't get to win. Joe Whitt has to me, don't just limit them to less points than you did Seattle, but stop the run. Make Jared Goff become Jared Goff, right? You got the blueprint from what happened last week. So I mean,
last year. You mean last year?
No, I'm talking about last week to Detroit.
Detroit,
okay. Yeah, Detroit got shut down last week.
Minnesota. Sorry, Minnesota.
Yeah,
sorry.
It's Minnesota. They got shut down last week against Minnesota. You got the blueprint. Now tweak it for your personnel.
This is Brian Flores though.
That's what it's saying.
I know it's Brian Flores, but take what Brian Flores did and say, you know what?
Yeah.
That worked for Flores. Let's see what we got and what we can do with our personnel.
But you got hey, Glenn, I ain't gonna lie to you. What you said makes awesome sense, and it sounds so right. But I'm just the only issue I would say, not issue, because I think you're right. Because any defensive coordinator would be like, let's see what Minnesota did, and let's kind of obviously see how we can kind of use that and modify that to help work for us, right? That's right. That's if you're scouting a team, everyone does that. Like that's sports. That's you're supposed to do it. The only thing is that when you're doing the same thing and the team counters it, because they're going to counter, the offense going to counter. Are you smart enough to counter with it? That's all.
And that's to me our question. You say it all the time. I think we said it. Joe Whitt doesn't do a good job making in-game adjustments.
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't.
He struggles with making in-game adjustments. Now maybe that's why he's coming down to the field, because he doesn't think whoever he giving the in-game adjustments to are not fulfilling their assignment. But like I said, after this Sunday, there's no excuses.
Yeah, facts, man. Yeah. Nah, I'm with you. I actually agree with you. I think because you have to do that. That should be the game plan. You got to see what Flores did. But too, on the flip side, you kind of Washington has a good idea what the Lions bring in terms of a skill set, and they were able to force Jared Goff to turn the ball over so many times in that playoff game. So they do have an idea of how to. I guess we were talking about how to mess with Jared Goff's eyes and trick him. They do have something to lean on. If I'm Joe Whitt Jr., I would have something to lean on. But I mean, they're gonna have this game is so we're not talking about. We'll talk about the game on the pregame show, but we're just talking about in terms of for Joe Whitt Jr. what he's going to need in this, because I feel like as I think about it, because there are steps to this, right? And Glenn, you said it this is a bunch of PR stuff, right? If you have another, I ain't gonna lie to you, if they blow him out again, I kind of think he's gonna be gone. And the only reason why I say he'll be gone is because your head coach is a defensive coordinator. So if you need to fall back and say, I need somebody to call plays, your head coach can do that. It's not like now if his head coach was the offensive coordinator, if it was an offensive coordinator, it'd be different. I think he would kind of roll with it. But since your head coach is a defensive-minded guy, and your defense is struggling, I think it's easier. It's just easier to say, all right, bye. It's my defensive scheme anyway. I'll work with the guys. You know what I'm saying? We'll see if I can make it better. Because I feel that's where I'm at with this. I feel like it's easier to get rid of Joe Whitt. I know people complain about Cliff. It's easier to get rid of Joe Whitt than it is Cliff. And even in terms of in season. If we're talking about an in-season type of move, it's easier to get rid of Joe Whitt than Cliff. You know what I mean? And I think fans, and the reason why fans are so annoyed too, to be real with you, with it, is because in terms of Dan Quinn's body, because Joe Whitt's a two-year DC. He wasn't. This is his first defensive coordinator job. The issue too is that we've seen Dan Quinn in the past as a defensive coordinator, and he's been a top 10 defensive coordinator or a defensive ranked team, right? He's been at a high level in terms of his defenses. So you're always gonna be mad and say, "Damn, dude, you're better than our DC. Why are you not trying to coach our defense? Why are you not the defensive coordinator?" Basically, Tully got a thanks Tully for another super chat, man. Tully, I appreciate you.
Telly.
The only way going to the field is going to work is if Whitt is a good is a good motivator. Look these players in the eye and get them fired up. DQ that guy. I'm not sure Joe
is
though. He seems more reserved. I agree.
I agree. Yeah, I agree that because you look
100%.
at his press conferences, stuff like that. It seems like he's more laid back. Yeah. You know, Cliff. Truth be told, Cliff looks like he has more swag than Joe Whitt.
The dude, the motivating dude is what's my guy? Defense.
Tap.
Tap. Like Dale Tap is a motivator. He's a motivator. I don't care. I've seen him. He motivates. Like I get like he'll fire you up. But I don't know if he's ready. I ain't gonna say he's ready to be a defensive coordinator, but he's a motivator though.
Well, no, my thing is if Joe Whitt gets fired, Dan Quinn needs to take over the DC.
That's what I'm saying. Easily. What's going on? DC Slim says if we know it won't be any different. Why can't the whole staff be fired immediately? This needs to be done now. Nah, man. You can't get them all down now.
DC Slim. I'm not trying to be funny though. After this trip to where they going? Spain?
Yeah.
After this trip to Spain? Yeah, after this trip to Madrid, if they lose this week and then they gotta go to Spain next week, after the trip to Madrid, there'll be some things that shake up. There'll be some if they lose to Detroit and then they lose to Miami, trust me, you'll see some coaches shake up.
If they lose to Miami, ooh boy, they're not gonna like the reception they're gonna get when they come home.
Mike, so the owner
the DMV is gonna be on fire and not in a good way.
Mike said the owner is watching every game in the booth. I'm sure he hates watching this defense, and that has to reflect on Dan Quinn and his choices and his choice of Whitt. Yeah. Hey. What's going on? What's going on, Rory? I see you, my guy. What's going on, Rory?
This owner owns the Philadelphia 76ers. He's seen bad defense before.
No.
Yeah. Hey, he's seen a lot of bad. He trusts the process, though.
Yeah, he trusts the process.
He trusts the process.
Trust DJ Edgecombe.
Oh, that boy nasty. He is nasty. That backcourt is nasty. All right, so Glenn, do you see? All right, is there a world where Whitt on the sideline will help this defense though? Is there any positive about it for real?
I mean, it would help if he was again keep the guys motivated, able to fix things quickly, right? Or be able to get things to Bobby Wagner because I believe Wagner wears the green dot, right? To get things to Bobby Wagner quicker, right? To adjust things. This is the bad week. If again against Detroit coming off a loss, this is not the great week to say I'm coming down to the field. I'm just being honest. If you want to come down to the field, you should have been like, you know what, I'm coming down the field next week against Miami, and people are like, oh, okay, yeah. But this right here is weak because this week exposes everything that Joe Whitt isn't. If he comes down to the field and nothing changes, this forces, and truth be told, it forces Dan Quinn's hand. Like what else is it? Because again, Dan's not in jeopardy of losing his job. Let's be honest. Dan Quinn gets a pass.
Oh, not losing his job. He's good.
Dan Quinn gets a pass for this year. But goes back to George's point, the owner, the fan base, people want to see things shook up. And who name everyone says, even Cliff Kingsbury get a pass because Jaden's not playing. Terry's not playing, right? All that. Top guys on offense, they can get a pass. Debo's hurt, right? Whitt does not get a pass, right? Whitt had an opportunity because you're the DC. He had an opportunity to say, you know what, we need to keep Jonathan Allen if you wanted to, right? So it becomes not. He doesn't get no pass.
Go ahead, keep on. I mean, I ain't gonna cut you off.
No, and it just hadn't gotten better, right? We see glimpses of what this defense could be, right? I see. Roy, you said the D line is hurt, right? But all the guys that were hurt on the D line are 1-year deals. Jonathan Allen was a franchise player, and I'm not saying. And so, 1-year deal guys and older guys, they're not Jake. You can't compare the guys that are hurt on defense to Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, appreciate. Yeah, I'm with you. Appreciate DC Slim. Appreciate you. Said shake up is a fall sense security. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm just being real. Like some of the stuff is going to have to happen at the end of the year anyway. So it doesn't really. Some of the stuff is going to happen.
I mean, the first half against Seattle was so embarrassing. You wouldn't have been surprised if something was going to happen this week. And I think
agreed.
The fact that nothing happened is.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That doesn't say much.
That's my point. That's my point. It's like ain't nothing happened. So it's like to me, I'm like, all right, well, I can wait. If it ain't gonna happen after when we saw against Seattle, I mean, I can expect it against Detroit. I can expect it against. If it ain't gonna happen, if that's gonna happen against you in Seattle, I mean, and you ain't do nothing. I'm like, all right.
That's on Dan Quinn though.
Yeah. Let me read this real quick, and we'll get your response to that. Telly said, DQ and AP has turned Ashburn into a family-oriented environment, atmosphere. Agreed. Does DQ really have the balls to fire his close friend? DQ is probably loyal to a fault. That's what I'm saying. So Telly, I agree with this. I do think that. So this is my point though, Telly. I like this point, and I'm gonna go to Glen about what he's about to say. But I want to respond to this. I feel like he's gotten to this far. That's why the whole from the booth on the field, he's trying to give him an opportunity to keep his to stay the defensive coordinator. I do think if he sees improvement, he's safe. He's safe for real. If he shows some type of improvement, he's safe. Now he gets it. And now if Detroit, if you get back-to-back mollywops, we're talking about like another 30, 40, 50, like a 40 piece, a game where it's out of hand early. I think Dan Quinn changed. I think Dan Quinn's loyalty is like, all right, man, I did with so much. Like I can't lose the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't, like, because just like anything, Telly, in sports, eventually, players are going to be like, man, we getting them 30, 30, 30. You're going to one as a player. I'm just guessing some of these players might have checked out. That's one. Secondly, perception. If a team is giving up 30, 30, 30, fan base and everybody going to be like, dudes ain't listen to you no more. So hopefully, like if I'm him, like I think Dan Quinn is giving him, because of his friendship and loyalty to your point, Telly, I think he's giving him this opportunity, because I do think that what George said earlier, like what happened against Seattle was kind of like a fireable offense. And he was like, nah.
Seattle basically didn't care in the second half and still got 38. Yeah, if they cared to, they could. No telling what they could have got last week.
Agreed. I agree with you, George. So Glenn, Glenn, finish.
No, I just going to agree with you guys. You got my points. You took everything I was going to say, man. It's just like it's your boy, but at a certain time, I can't let my boy. I can't go down with the ship.
Yeah, there you go.
Quinn. You can't go down at a certain point. You have to fish and cut bait. It's the same thing with Jack Del Rio and Ron Rivera.
Yeah, because he kind of swung that around.
And that was his boy. Or let's be honest, Scott Turner. I know we only say that name one time. We don't say two more. Scott. I can say ST and Ron Rivera because of the relationship between him and Dad.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Very true. Very good point. What is affecting the Mike? What is affecting the fan turnout and buying tickets that could be a factor for Quinn to have to get rid of him? True. I mean, if it's that bad, we saw Roy, the D line's hurt. Noah's hurt. Y'all really? Noah is not, man. No, don't get me started.
I want to develop what Michael said real quick.
Go ahead.
Because, Josh Harris, this is new to him because he's not owned this team the last 20-some years. So I think the sight of opposing fans taking over the stadium will jar him in a way that it won't jar us, because we've seen it. We've seen it in this century, the whole century, for the most part. We've watched Cowboys and Giants and Eagles fans take over FedEx on a regular basis. That's going to be a new thing for Josh Harris. And I do think it's going to affect him. And it wouldn't surprise me if Josh Harris went to Adam Peters and said, somebody's got to pay for this, because there's going to be a lot of Honolulu Blue in that stadium on Sunday. And they're going to be cheering and making all the noise in all likelihood. The Burgundy and Gold fans, however many there's going to be in there, going to be sitting on their ends going, some of them wearing bags over their heads. And that is going to change. I think that could change things. So I think Michael actually is onto something with that.
That's a good point. But that could be a Cliff and Joe problem. Not just one though. I'll say that much then. This is like riding a flat tire all the way home. We know they trash. We hold on to trash.
DC, I agree with you. I had a conversation today with somebody, man. We know what the defense is, right? The smoke and mirrors of this defense is gone, right? We come into the season, we thought, we just want them to be able to stop we want them to just be able to stop the run, right? Shoot. They stopped the run, but right now it's bombs over Baghdad in the secondary because everybody watched Sunday. It was bombs like you get a pass, you get a pass, you get a catch, you get a catch.
Torrey Horton breakout.
Right.
Torrey Horton still went great for a receiver.
Breakout.
Thank God we didn't have to face Rashid Shaheed and JSN. Right. I don't think what that would have gone like.
And so now you're missing now you're missing some of your secondary. The guy that we consider to be one of our best corners, right, is done for the season.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I want my man Rory says we don't have an equivalent to 5 and 17 on defense. All right, so I'm gonna show you this, Rory, because we keep like talent is always like a thing with like commander, like with folks. So I just want to do this. I want to do this. I want to see if I can. Can I share a screen? I want to see something. Yeah, whatever. Can I share a screen? Can I?
Yeah, you should be able to.
All right, hold on. Allow window. Oh, yeah, I can show which I want to share.
Yeah.
Where we at? Firefox Studio. This is not Firefox. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we're good. Okay, I'm gonna allow y'all. Can you see this? Can you see this?
Yep, we got you.
Mm-hmm. All right, you can see the roster.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, so this is the Minnesota Vikings defensive roster. Tell me, do you see anybody who equivalates to Terry McLaurin or Jaden Daniels on this defensive line for the Minnesota Vikings? Harrison Smith is old as dirt. FYI.
There's only one. And there's only
one
player.
Probably Harrison Smith, right?
No, there's one more. The one that left here last year.
Jonathan Allen, who everybody, I don't count him because people said he should have been gone. This defense is better than our defense. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, is Van Ginkel maybe a fringe Pro Bowler?
You only know him because
Andrew Van Ginkel. I mean, I wouldn't put him in the 5 or 17 level, but he's pretty good.
But you only know him because where he's at, who he's with. That's what I'm saying. You only know some of these because who they're with. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is like we don't have. Look, man, we don't have a coordinator. Like I ain't saying it again. There's levels to this. I get what you're trying to say, but there's level. Is it in your Minnesota? Joe Flores? This is year 2 of him taking over this defense.
It's year 2.
Yeah, you see it. Thank you, Telly. You see it. That's not a talented unit. That is not a talented unit, man. All I'm saying is like this is what I'm saying about Joe Whitt Jr. There's like in sports and anything in sports, there are levels to this. This is it. That's all I'm saying. I can give you like there are examples of say, all right, I'll get another example. Without even using Minnesota, I will use them a lot. There's a reason why when people leave, like when the people leave Bill Belichick, they don't have the same success with on a Bill Belichick defense. They don't have the same success elsewhere, unless like Richard Seymour, like he's like because he's super talented. He was already talented. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of dudes that they leave the Patriot style and they're not the same elsewhere.
Yeah, that's key.
They're like because like they're good at coaching. You coach them up. You know what I'm saying? You coach them up. That's what I'm saying. Like you coach them up. I'm not now. If you're telling me that Joe Whitt Jr. is because he's relatively being real with y'all, he's a second year defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he is. He's not so. If we're gonna put him in all right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna use him. Let's use a Jaden Daniels analogy, or let's use that like Jaden Daniels is second year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Daniels is spectacular. He is an exception to the rule. He's exceptional. Right? Joe Whitt is like, if we're going to be real, Joe Whitt is like more, we look at a draft pick. He like more of a Jerzon Newton.
Mm.
You want to say he got potential, that's fine. But it ain't like he reached a high level. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to say he got potential? I'm using Jerzon to be I don't think he's good. I like Jerzon. But I'm just telling y'all, like, there's levels to it. Like, he's a second year player. He's not that type of DC. Now, if you want to say he needs talent, then yeah. All right. If Jaden was say a lesser tier quarterback, we would say Jaden needs more like that quarterback needs more talent. all right, like Jared Goff is going to need more talent around him. Period. And no knock on Jared Goff is a really good quarterback, but he's going to need more talent around him because he's that type of quarterback. Tom Brady don't need that much talent around him. I might, because Jaden's young, I might even put Jaden on there, but Tom Brady don't need that much talent around him. There's levels to it. Certain people need more talent around him. That's all I'm saying. No, I agree with you. But Brian Flores was doing it. He was doing it, and he's been doing it in New England as a DB coach, whatever. He's been good at defensive. He's been good at defensive. I don't even think he got a defensive coordinator gig till. I think he was like a position coach in New England, and then from there he became a head coach. I don't even think he was a freaking coordinator till like Minnesota, to be real with you. But he's coached defense though, so he know defense.
I mean, he was the defensive coordinator for New England during that last Super Bowl they won. Last year, 13-3.
Okay, he was.
He was the defensive coordinator. All right. And one thing about that, everybody was giving all the credit to Belichick that Super Bowl, but Flores was calling the defenses.
All right, let me read this.
New England that year. And that was a masterpiece.
All right, let me read DC's. Hey, y'all always say what we don't have, but they won't play the young guys. Let's see our roster. I ain't saying we don't have. I'm just saying. Oh, I'm not. I think we DC. So I think we're saying the same thing. I'm just saying, like when people say we don't have this, we don't have that. I don't agree with that in terms of like play. Like I don't go with that thought process. Because I'm like, I've seen coaches work with less. Like I've seen it. Like even I'm gonna be real. Even again, I'll go with like Shanahan when he came in, when he got Griffin. Like if you look at the players we had around, like Pierre, no one thought Pierre Garçon was gonna have the year he was gonna have with us. Like he was a number 2 wide receiver with the Colts. He wasn't their number 1 for real. Like came over here, became like all world. But like we had a bunch like 09 was shot up. All we had was Trent. We didn't have dogs everywhere on offense. Alfred Morris, 7-rounder. And you can make an argument that's more no knock on Alfred, but you can make the argument that's more on Shanahan's run scheme, right? So, like, I'm just saying, some coaches in general, you give them a little bit and they can make it work. That's all I'm saying. Now, you're trying to tell me that Joe Whitt Jr. needs talent. I ain't gonna argue with you. He needs talent. He needs a lot of talent around him for him to be good. But for him to be good, he needs a lot of talent. For another coordinator, no, he doesn't need a lot of talent. They don't need a lot of talent. For him, yes, he needs a lot of talent to be good. I'm not gonna argue with that, Rory. You're right. For him to be good, he needs a lot of talent. Talent is created from play on the field. We only use that excuse for us. Yeah, I mean, I think that we got guys who can play. Oh, what happened to Glen? We got guys who can play. Rory. Oh, that's not this Paul. I appreciate the super chats from y'all. Y'all dope.
Yes, thank you so much.
Who's that? I bet nobody can name our wide receiver room or linebacker room. Oh, I mean, I can if I wanted to. I mean, do you want me to? I mean, I ain't impressed. Look, man, we got my man Jordan McGee, Bobby Wagner, Kane Madrano, Aho, Bobby Wagner. Who else we got? Who am I missing?
Oh, I think we got it. I think that's everybody.
Everybody, pretty much everybody. Yeah, and Martin's an edge rusher. He's not really a linebacker. Taj, real talk. At what point do we blame DQ? He hires a first-year guy to run the defense and appears to leave him on an island to struggle. Yeah, I think Cajo. Yes, Cajo. Thank you. It's Cajo, not Cajo. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think DQ. That's my Taj. My point is like. I think to what Telly said, I think there's loyalty to Whitt. I think he wanted to work with Whitt. He definitely wanted to work.
But I got a question on that though.
Go ahead.
Is it loyalty to Whitt, or is it? It's like you know when you was in school, there's always a kid in the class that you could pick on, right? Yeah. He's an easy target. Is Dan Quinn really deflecting and everything, and pointing the fingers at Joe Whitt when it's really him?
See, I think this.
See how much as a head coach?
That'd be pretty terrible if he was doing that.
But I'm saying Dan Quinn's supposed to be a defensive guy, right? Yeah. You can't tell me that the head coach is a defensive guy, and your friend is a defense coordinator, and you know that he's not doing well. that you sit there quiet all week.
Yeah.
Either one or two things are happening. Dan Quinn is telling Joe Whitt what to do differently, Whitt just not doing it, or Dan Quinn is equally involved in what's going on with the defense.
I think he's definitely involved.
And Joe Whitt is Joe Whitt's being the scapegoat.
Look, at that point,
I was gonna say this. I think you're right about. I mean, if you're a defensive minded coach, you're definitely you're helping out. He said, "Why he looks like Joe?" Hey, chill out, dog. Chill out, dog.
Hey, Telly. I might call the defense better than Joe Whitt too, though.
Oh, but I'll say this,
about it.
If you're a defense, just like anything, if you're a defensive minded coach, right? If you're also like your offensive minded coach, you're gonna be in those rooms. Like you're gonna be in a room with the defense. That's just common. I'm with you, Glenn. Like in that element, I don't think he's escaped, but I do think that with Dan, from what I've heard by reporters, Dan Quinn is hands off, and he wants his guys to kind of do their job. And I think there is something about Joe Whitt because he is a young coordinator, giving him the opportunity to build his resume. You know what I'm saying? I do believe that from what people have told me, I'm not just going for what people told me.
Yeah.
He does have full autonomy of what he's doing. But I'm with you. I do think Dan Quinn is part of it, though. Like, don't get it twisted. I do think he gives his opinions and he's in those discussions in those rooms and say, okay, I agree with this or whatever. Because if you don't agree with something, to your point, there should be shared blame, though. There should be shared blame. I get what you're saying.
It should be shared blame. And also, we talk about Dan Quinn and we talk about Joe Whitt. How much of this is also because the players are giving support. If y'all read, the players are giving support to Joe Whitt. Like, we support him. So then if you support Joe Whitt and what Joe Whitt is doing, then the players should take the fault that y'all not executing. It's you then. Somebody
told me that Joe Whitt is like kind of like, eh.
I want to point out, remember, Katie Waller asked Dan Quinn about changes weeks ago, and Dan Quinn told her that he's on the headset for all the defensive calls.
Yeah.
He hears every defensive and offensive, but he said he hears every defensive call. So he is at least involved enough that way that you absolutely have to blame Dan Quinn. And it goes right to your point, Glenn. Is DQ telling Joe Whitt to do stuff different and he's not listening? Or is Joe Whitt doing what DQ said and it's still not working?
And if it's still not working, then that's a player personnel issue, and it goes back to Adam Peters. Because let's be honest, Adam Peters built the offense up. He didn't really build the defense up. They figured they're going to do what they did last year and outscore people. And let's be honest, we said it on the show last week, and we said it last year. This team outscored people, and that's how they made it to the NFC East Championship game. And it was lucky enough to cause turnovers. If Detroit keeps running the football, they lose that game because it was a track meet. Remember, it was going back and forth. Washington almost had to score on every play until they got the turnover from Mikey. I mean, Mikey until Quan Martin ran it back.
You saw the touchdown,
till Quan ran it back, and then that gave Washington the lead up, and they never gave it back again. So that's the difference.
Yeah, Timothy said we need you on the sidelines, Glenn.
Yo, if they give me that check, I'll take it, dog. They give me that check.
If DQ is deeply involved, then we are in big trouble. Yeah, I think he's a defensive. I mean, he is a defensive coach. I feel like he's definitely going to be involved in some way. Like that would. I mean, Bill Belichick's in you talk about Flores, George, but Bill Belichick was involved in those meetings. You know what I mean? Like,
no question. But I mean, Brian Flores was calling the defense.
I'm agreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, they're going to be involved. That's what I'm saying. Bringing it back to this. Like, Dan Quinn is going to be involved in like game planning.
Well, and that brings me to my next question because we've kind of talked about this already. We got to bring this up. AP goes to DQ at the end of the season and says Whitt's got to go. Let's say DQ actually does agree. Is he going to be willing to hire a coach that he's not worked with and that may have a totally different philosophy from him to come here and try to fix this stuff? Or is he going to want to promote from within? And as much as we might like the position coaches on this team, Ken Norton and Daryl Taps and all that stuff, I'm not sure that's a tenable position either to promote from within when this defense is so bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I mean, I'll answer your question. I wouldn't want anybody. I don't know if I want somebody within. Honestly, I don't think this defense is like. I would want, if anything, I would want a more of I would want more of a proven commodity. But it's the messed up thing for Joe Whitt to be, again, I said it earlier, is that your head coach, image wise, forget of whatever, image wise, your head coach is a good defensive coordinator, and you're struggling. That's the issue. And like people are gonna look at it and say, "Well, man, fire this dude and you call plays." Yeah, that's the image. That's what the image is. Like when you're giving up yardage like this. That's the image. Now we don't know what's going on to what you're saying, but Telly, this is a good point. This is a good question with Telly. If DQ was calling the plays, would you want DQ fired? I like that question. That's
if DQ was calling the plays,
would you want to be fired?
I'm gonna say no, Telly. I'm gonna tell you why.
I like that question.
I'm gonna tell you why, because I don't think it's Joe Whitt's fault. I don't think it's DQ fault. I put this on the fact that we defensively, you don't have the players that you need in the house to run the scheme that you're running. Right, you're running a 3-4 scheme, right?
4-3.
I mean, you're running a 4-3 scheme. You have older outside. You don't have the pass rusher that you need. Can we be honest there? You have a guy who's only motivated because this is a contract year. You have a young guy who hasn't been proven in Newton, and you have a secondary who's been shaky since the preseason.
Oh yeah.
So. The talent is not how, and not to mention you have players who are playing out of position because we all know Mikey should be on the slot.
outside.
Mikey should be outside, not in the slot.
Yeah.
So that's the defensive coordinator's job to recognize you have the wrong players. All right, you get the right players, but they're in the wrong spot, and we don't have the talent we need.
DC Slim, I appreciate you. Dan is super overrated. Okay, cliche Dan super overrated.
Hey,
you think so?
Hey, remember I didn't want Dan here anyway. He wasn't my first choice.
Oh, okay.
Right, Dan wasn't the first choice.
I like that.
My first choice was Aaron Glen. Right,
he won me over. Dan won me over. You want Aaron Glen? I'm glad I didn't get that dude.
Hold on, and Mike gonna be mad if he ain't gonna sleep yet. Remember George? It was me and you, George. I wanted Aaron Glen to give me Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, I mean Mike Tomlin. Aaron
Glen.
I
remember that. I definitely remember that.
We happy we didn't get Aaron Glen, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. We happy we didn't get that.
Mike Tomlin ain't that wrong. Yeah, but yeah. Just be happy when you get Aaron Glen. Be happy. Like you talking about a dude who doesn't look like he's ready to coach. Good God. Like this is.
I'll tell you this. If the Jets really were to fire him after 1 year, you can bring in Aaron Glen in. I'd be happy with that as defensive coordinator.
He better coordinator. Yeah.
Yeah, he aggressive. I like him. I do like his style. His style is aggressive. He has that. Yeah, they have that. Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't happen to him because that would be another one. That'd be another one that's happened too.
He'll be fired in like a year. And not if not he's not. I mean, I don't think he'll be fired this year. But he'll be fired. I mean, if he doesn't, he has a 2-year window. He looks overwhelmed. For
he is. He has to do too much. It's too much to do when you're a head coach.
He's trying to do too much. He's doing too much. To be honest with you, he's trying to take on that, and he's taking over that Dan, trying to be like that Dan Campbell type of mentality. It doesn't work. Get the right guys in to do that. Let's put it that way. Get the right guys to do all that. Commanders need to trade. What? Who is this?
No.
No. I'm answering your question. No. Just overall the entire defense staff and players. Like
I agree with that, Paul. At this point,
we got here, but there is the issue, Glenn. If what you are saying is true, sometimes there is disconnect with AP and the coaching staff.
I mean, here's a question: How much input did the coaching staff have, defensive coaching staff have, when they were drafting, or is it just DQ?
Yeah,
good question. But remember, we only had 5 picks, so there was only so much you could do with 5 picks.
Right, but you also have free agency. You had a lot of cap. You had a lot of money.
Man,
and the guys that they brought in, if we honest, the guys that they brought in, nobody was younger.
I mean, y'all give me like I'm just gonna say, man. I keep you. I mean, maybe because I've seen other individuals in the past, man. Like I've seen us have like some non-talented dudes, so-called non-talented dudes on our defense the year Greg came here. And I'm like, and he turned us to like, we were number one in defense, like for a while, till like week 16 or something. Like we were number one in defense. And we were last in defense the prior year. Like we were horrible in defense.
Motivator.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like when people keep, that's why when people keep saying, like, again, understand this. He moved a special teamer who used to get cut in practice squad type dude, moved a middle linebacker, and then that dude became a really good middle linebacker and played for the Giants and won the Super Bowl in Antonio Pierce.
Yes.
Ryan Clark was a journeyman, not like a dude that was not, no one was starting Ryan Clark. Nobody.
He was bouncing around.
Special teamer. Move Ryan Clark to safety, became a Super Bowl champion safety with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm just saying, when you can coach like that, that is player development at its finest. Yeah. If you look at that roster, you wouldn't say, dang, they got a top 10 defense. You wouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't say that. That's all I'm saying. Like,
yeah, Timothy.
I'm gonna read this first. I'll get to Taj. Glen might be good, a good DC, but not a good head coach.
True. I mean, Aaron Glen might be a good DC.
Oh, Aaron Glen.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's a fact.
Oh, no, I'm a good head coach. I'm a motivator.
Hey, tell him, Glenn. Tell him.
I'm a motivator.
All these Glens are killing me, man. Hey, Taj, but Wole, to your point, Gibbs didn't have an ego. He hired a DC, but that was a former head coach, not just his. Yeah, I know. He was a great head. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I'm just saying, in terms of what we're talking about, when people keep using the word talent, I'm always gonna use I'm not saying you gotta be the best defense in the world, but there is a culture you can build up with the talent you have to coach around and what you got. You know what I'm saying? Like there is like the Arizona. I watched Arizona Cardinals before they're like, I think they're a little bit more talented now because with the draft picks and their cornerback play. But prior to that, when they played us, was it the year? Yeah,
last year.
Ago? Not last year. 2 years before that. The year before that, when they had when they played Sam Howell and them. It's the first game of the season.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, where because they Kyler Murray wasn't quarterback. What was the dude that was because Kyler Murray was hurt? It was the dude that played for the Vikings. Dobbs was the quarterback in the game. But I saw their defense. Their defense had no other than Buda Baker. They didn't really have anybody. And like they were flying. I knew that's culture. That's their deep. They can coach defense. Like who can coach defense. Like you know, like we're not stupid. Like we know when you watch a defensive, like a certain defense, and you can look and you don't have to know the player. Dudes are flying. You don't gotta be the best defense in the league, but you coach defense. Like dudes are flying, rally into the football, like for real. Like that's deep. You coaching defense.
I tell you who else was good here in Washington back in the day, man. And people don't give him much credit. Marvin Lewis. When Marvin Lewis was the DC, when Marvin was the DC here, Washington was fine. DC's, but Marvin's done coaching too.
DC's, you're right. I like
Marvin was the highest paid DC in the league then.
Yeah,
people were mad at Dan Snyder for paying that kind of money for a DC, and he was worth every penny.
He was. Yeah. DC Slim, I'll take. I mean, I love Rex Ryan.
I like Rex Ryan.
It's aggressive. It's aggressive. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Timothy, I agree. He is trash. I guess that's my point. When people always throw like talent, that's the thing I always go to. Like, it depends on what you are asking for, like, and where you rank your defensive coordinator or your coordinator. Period. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, if you rank your coordinator as a coordinator that is middle of the pack, then he's gonna need talent. I'm not gonna argue that. I'm not. He's gonna need a boatload of talent. I think every coach needs talent. So let me put that out there. Every coach does need talent. But what can you do with the talent that you have is also what it is. Like if you can't, everybody can't have everything. So there are coaches that can say, you know what, I don't need everything. Just give me these particular positions, and I can make it work. I can definitely make it work. And Joe Whitt, in his situation, he's gonna need high safety play. He's gonna need two real good cornerbacks. He's gonna need a couple really good edge rushers. See what I'm talking about? He's gonna need good enough linebacker. He's gonna need good linebackers. He needs all of that. Like, all right, Saleh just lost Fred Warner. Look what they're doing on defense. That is the best. That is, we talk about linebackers who can cover wide receivers. That's the linebacker who can cover wide receivers. He's out for the year. That's the best linebacker in football.
Mm-hmm. Yes, true.
He's still coaching defense. Their team is still flying around. You know why? Because he coach. You can tell he coach defense. That's what he. There's levels to it.
But you know what it is? This team preached culture last year. Mm-hmm. There's no identity of culture on this defense.
Yeah, on defense. That too. I agree with that. That too. Definitely.
There's no culture identity on this defense.
To your point, that's an important thing too, Glenn. You're right. We talk about identity for the team overall, but on defense, there is no identity. Because at least you can't say that when you look at the Washington defense, you don't say they're flying to the football. You don't say none of that. I don't.
No, you say they can't tackle.
You say they can't tackle. You say they can't. They give explosive. You don't. There's no. At least there's something like are they pressure heavy? They're not. You can't say they're pressure heavy. Like, you don't know. You can throw all these stats. They can say, well, we blitz a lot on first and second down. Nah, you're not. One, I'm like, dude, you pitch on first and second down. That's kind of weak to me. You should be blitzing on third down. But that's a whole different thing. But that's a whole different argument. But I'm like, you don't have an identity on defense. Which, if you're going to be a good defense, you need an identity. That's the important thing on defense.
I have an identity. They're a turnstile. That's their identity.
Facts, George.
But the swag is not there last year. If you looked at it last year, there was an identity, right? And you can call it what you want to call it, and you starting to miss guys like Dante Fowler, right? I mean, let's be honest. You starting to miss some of those guys that were fly to the football, always around the football type play. And so again, who allowed a Luvu to roam and do whatever he needed to do, allowed to cover up a Bobby Wagner this year. Can't nobody tell me Bobby got that old over a few months that he can't cover. What happened was offensive coordinators found the spot, right? The teams wasn't doing last year to this defense, which was attacking Bobby Wagner. And it's not all on Bobby Wagner neither. So, but it's also on some of the safety plays. Because again, the coverage, people are running wide open.
We got DC Slim said at the end of the day, we have bad evaluation on players and bad coaching consistently. We are bound to keep failing. It starts at the top.
It does.
Yes, it does, DC Slim.
I need to call the police. Joe Whitt is a fraud. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. Joe Whitt, yeah. Chin, Fowler. Man, we miss Chin, man. We definitely
miss Chin and Fowler.
I mean, that's hard for me to say Fowler, but yeah, we do miss Chin.
I know it's hard for you to say. It's hard for you.
You're right, though. You know what? You're right, though. You know what? We're not getting sacks. So you're right. No,
you're not getting sacks.
Well, you know what? We do miss Armstrong because Armstrong was getting a lot of sacks too.
Armstrong was getting the sacks.
But we do miss Fowler though. I'm gonna be fair. Let me not be a
but because Fowler wasn't getting sacks. One thing I didn't know about Dante Fowler, he was always around the ball. Now, he could not set an edge. I tell you that much.
No, he can't stop the run.
He can't stop the run and set an edge, but he will always run.
As you can see with the Cowboys, he can't stop the run either over there. Even over there either, he can't stop the run.
No, he can't stop.
But they wanted guys who can stop the run. It's all on Wagner. Nah, man. Don't worry, man. Look, DC Slim, don't worry. Just wait it out. Next year you won't have Bobby Wagner. You won't have him to blame next year. I can guarantee you that.
Think about it.
And I love Bobby. You know what I'm saying? But I'm being real.
If we're not mistaken, George and Wole, and I haven't looked at it, is the majority of the defense like 1 year deal guys?
Yeah, a lot of them are.
A lot of them are one.
Yes.
Other than the rookies,
yes.
Yeah. Other than the rookies,
and
yeah.
most of them ain't going to be around.
Kinlaw is under contract.
Yeah,
Payne is under contract, but not. He can be waived, but he is under contract. Armstrong's under contract.
Mm-hmm. So this defense really,
it's totally renewed. Yeah, overall, everybody else is like, because what Marshawn won't be back.
Amos is coming back.
Yeah, true. I didn't put Bobby on the staff. Yeah, I think Bobby gonna be on the staff. I agree with you. I agree with that. I want that. I want Bobby on the staff, Roy. I do. I want Bobby on the staff.
He's gonna fit. Is he gonna stay in football? Because it feels like he's gonna be some kind of a business tycoon or like some kind of high-end executive.
Oh, I think he'll stay in football. I think he'll stay in football. I think
he calls the Seattle Storm.
Yeah.
And what was he getting his master's in at Howard?
He get an MBA.
Business. I think.
Okay, so master's of business administration. What do you bet he's going to be like a CEO type guy?
I mean, you can still do both. It ain't like you can't do that. But I mean, I feel like he's going to be. I think he'll do. He'll either coach or actually, truth be told, because he's so smart. I think he can do like be by doing play by play. I think he'd be an analyst.
I want to go back to what Taj said about DQ.
Go ahead.
You can.
You read it first. Read it first, and then.
Okay, he says, let's keep it being. Are we giving DQ too much credit as a defensive guy? I know he had Seattle, but his defense collapsed in the Super Bowl. He's talking about Atlanta.
Yeah.
His time at Dallas, besides turnovers, was average at best. I'm not agreeing with you on the Dallas part because that defense was wretched before he got there. And they played their tails off for him. And yes, I know what happened in the playoffs happened, and it cannot be denied. But seriously, I'm not having DQ is overrated as a DC. No, because there was no way in the world in Dallas he should have got out of that defense what he got out of it. I'm not going to agree with that. You can certainly minimize a little bit what he did in Seattle because you had Pete Carroll, who's a defensive guy, and it had the Legion of Boom, and it had all his talent. If you want to do that, that's fine. They should have won back-to-back Super Bowls, and if they just handed it to Marshawn Lynch, they would have won back-to-back Super Bowls. So what would we be saying then if he was a defensive coordinator for a team that won 2 Super Bowls in a row?
I'll say this much: I do think that he's already a businessman. I agree. DQ has been a good DC everywhere. A good at coaching the defense everywhere he's been at, though.
Mm-hmm.
Even as a head, like if you're going to use in the head coach term, like in Seattle, he was good. You know what I'm saying? Ross with Pete Carroll. In Atlanta, he changed that defense all the way around. That was a bad defense. He turned that all the way around. He drafted the guys that fit his scheme. Like he got a lot of quick linebackers. He got a lot of fast linebackers. He had cornerbacks who played his style, like bump and run. He's been good. Like you're gonna always remember like blowing that lead. But again, we talking about playing complimentary football. Kyle kind of helped them lose that lead too, though. So don't ever get that twisted. Like Kyle helped him. Like if they ran the football, played a little ball control type of game, they don't have enough time to come back. You're dealing with Tom Brady. You're giving Tom Brady time to come back. Think about that. Then you go to Dallas. Like if he loses the job, goes to Dallas. To George's point, Dallas defense was trash the year before he got there. Mm-hmm. He turned that thing around quick. Then you come to Washington. Then his last year in Dallas, just like anything. I mean, things get stale, messages get stale. They weren't able to stop the run. So exactly. You had Tom Brady. You give Tom Brady. Come on, man. If Kyle is not going to run it's going to give Tom Brady. You're throwing the ball when you need to try to get points or hold the ball, and you give Tom Brady extra possessions. That's on you, Kyle. But then Washington is a different situation. So I think he's a really good. I think he's a good defensive. I think he's a good defensive minded coach. I don't know. It's like where you rank him at as a defensive coordinator. I guess that's the term. Like where would you rank him at? Like what level? Like which group would you put him in as a defensive coordinator? Like I got a certain list of guys that I like Jim Schwartz, Flores, like dudes like that.
Spagnuolo.
I like Spagnuolo, Saleh. I like Ryan, D'Amico Ryan, and he coaches defense like crazy. That tree is amazing. Yeah. I think Cliff going next year. I think Cliff is going DC Tele. I think he's going because he's going to get another job. I don't think he want to be here. Who I think's in line? If I had to guess, I think it'll be Pritchard. Tavia Pritchard. That's what I think. I wouldn't be mad though. Like that George said, I wouldn't be mad if it's like Anthony Lynn. But I kind of think. I mean, I wouldn't be personally who I would want though. I would personally want it to be a coordinator outside of here. I would want somebody who has like a more pro style. I actually wouldn't mind having somebody from the Shanahan tree too. I won't lie.
I think Mike McDonald. I think I'm McDonald.
Mike McDonald. Oh, McDaniel. McDaniel. Yeah. I would definitely. You know what? Yeah, that would be my number one. I would get McDaniel number one. He'd be my number one. Yes. Glen.
Someone that can relate to Jaden and can put Jaden into good positions.
Yeah.
Young enough
and he's from the tree too. He's from the Shanahan tree.
He's from the Shanahan tree.
Definitely. I like that one a lot. Then he sucks. Head coach, his track record as a head coach. I mean, like not every head coach. I'll say this: not every head coach can get to the Super Bowl. I don't know if he sucks as a head coach.
1 quarter away from winning it.
Yeah, I think that's a little. I don't know if he sucks as a head coach. He got to the playoff. How many times he took the land to the playoffs? A few times, right?
I think they went
2 times, right?
Is it 2 or 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't suck as a head coach. I don't think he sucks as a head coach. He's a good head. Is he a Super Bowl winning coach? I think there's levels. Again, I think there's low levels to it. Is he a Super Bowl winning head coach? Probably. I mean, obviously not at the moment. He gets you to the postseason. I mean, that's not a bad coach. I mean, that's bad. Like Aaron Glen right now, you can use that terminology for Aaron Glen. Like he's horrible right now. But that doesn't mean he's not going to be good though. But he's right now, if you trying to tell me who's a horrible coach, like he's a who lost their job quick? Who was it? The dude from Tennessee who got fired?
Yeah, Brian Johnson.
Yeah,
or not Brian Johnson. Brian Callahan.
Callahan. That's a horrible coach. Now that's a bad coach. Like that's a bad coach. Like that's a bad coach. That I'm not going to say he sucks as a coach. That's a bad coach. There again.
Yeah, he might only be in the league.
Like, you told me is what matters. Yeah, Super Bowl winning.
You know what? I'm gonna go against y'all. Dan Quinn is a Super Bowl winning coach because guess what? The Seattle Seahawks defense won the Super Bowl.
They won the Super Bowl, right? They won the Super Bowl.
That's fair. Yeah. No, absolutely. I thoroughly enjoyed watching them dismantle Peyton.
But to the argument, yeah, this team does not have what the Seattle Seahawks team had as far as defense, players, and quality.
I'll do that. Dan is similar to Marty. That's cool.
Marty
more consistent though, but yeah, I get you.
Oh, Marty was tough, man. I love Marty.
Yeah. Marty was more consistent in getting to the like. Marty was always like his team.
Marty should never got fired.
Yeah.
Marty should never got fired in Washington. It changed the whole course. If you got to look at Marty's situation,
Lane Kiffin?
That team
head coach. Nah, we tripping. I ain't gonna Lane Kiffin head coach.
DC Slim.
I'm telling you, nah, not Lane Kiffin.
Anybody that hires Lane Kiffin away from Ole Miss is going to regret it. Anybody that does.
Hey, Lane Kiffin.
I like David Blau.
He loves the college kids. He don't like pro players.
Yeah, he's better at college. I think
Lane is a college guy.
College, dog. You like all right, David Blau? Yeah, I like David Blau. David Blau would be good for offense. Yeah, he would. David Blau would be good for offense. He'd be all right. I think because he has he'd be all right. He'd be all right.
Todd's making an interesting point.
What did Todd say?
Right above the David Blau comment. I kind of want to respond to that a little bit.
Go for it.
You see what Taj is saying? Wait. So we were bashing the offseason program, player development guys, the defense, and blaming how he handled JD5. Sorry, I'm not seeing this greatness you see. Look, this year has been a disaster. And I think this show has been as harsh on the coaching staff as anybody. And for me, that's why DQ's got to change both coordinators. He's got to take some blame, but his offensive and defensive coordinator have absolutely stunk the joint up.
Yeah, it is.
Now, DQ's had success at other places. How much of that you attribute to him? You know, Rory was saying that he inherited great rosters in Atlanta and Dallas. I wouldn't say that for the Dallas defense. In Atlanta, he at least inherited Matt Ryan, so I'll give you Atlanta a little bit. He had some talent on offense when he got there, and it had some decent defensive players. I wouldn't say they're great defensive players when he got there.
Man, Kevin a beast.
But that's the key. But the thing is, there has to be roster turnover and staff turnover. And, you know, I want to throw another name out for defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia, who's tearing it up in Ohio State. Now, you can argue he's got more talent than anybody, so of course he should. But Matt Patricia was a decent defensive coordinator in this league. And I wouldn't mind him either compared to Joe Whitt.
It is the ripple effect, right? I'm going to call it the ripple effect. And I'm going to blame y'all and follow me on this. I blame Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin's agent. No, listen what I'm saying.
Go
because if this team had every piece in camp and they wasn't distracted with the Terry McLaurin situation, they probably could have done a better job coaching on both sides of football. If the defense was in camp, if Terry McLaurin was in camp, the offense would have focused much more on outscoring people and being consistent. Now, we can't talk about injuries. Injuries is what it is, right? Injuries could happen. But this team had distractions this offseason, and people may not want to talk about it. It was distractions this offseason. And Terry was one of the major distractions. And it took the light of other things that were going on in his organization, where people was focused on Terry, not focused on getting better with the defense, because Terry's money is tied up on who else we can bring in on defense and what they're going to pay Terry.
You're right. I'll get to that later. I had to be reminded about Lane Kiffin in the NFL. I had to be reminded because I had to go ahead and check his record. Like I had to go back and be reminded. Dude, come on, man? DC Slim, I get you want to fire
Lane Kiffin. It's not.
No. But let me the record. Let me just say this. I just want my man DC Slim to say you gotta take risks. Lane Kiffin was like 4-12 in the league, bro. 4-12 in year one and 1-3 before he got fired. Nah, man. Nah, you gotta prove it, buddy. Nah. Sorry. No. Maybe OC. How about that? He can come in someone being OC, but that head coach, nah, man. You got that says 4-12. You had no success in the NFL. 4-12 and 1-3. Nah, man. Unless you win a national championship in college, then I would say you can get hired. That's real, dog. I'm just saying 4-12 and 1-3. Come on, DC Slim. Come on, buddy. We can't do that. We ain't doing that here. But back to Terry McLaurin. It definitely was it was all bad. It was bad juju going into it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously. But I mean, I don't know how that saves the defense. They ain't gonna hold you. That defense still trash. I don't know.
It's a money situation.
You can stay. Well, no, they got money. They got money. We can't keep. They got money. No, it's not. We're not broke. We're not gonna use the money thing. We got money. Who we paying? Other than one person, we ain't paying nobody. The money it could be like the reason Jeremy Chin, they lowballed Jeremy Chin, and Jeremy Chin was like, "Screw you." And I'm gonna go to Raiders, and the Raiders gave me an offer, and I'm like, I'm not coming back to y'all because y'all weren't playing fair with the money. Y'all didn't give me a real offer. You lowball me, so if you're gonna lowball me, I don't gotta come back to you. That's what happened with Jeremy Chin. That's what I'm saying. Like they got money, they can pay whatever. They chose violence. They chose to be cheap. AP chose to be cheap. That's on him.
Yeah.
It worked out for us last year, so I ain't mad at it. I wasn't mad at it. I'm just saying this year, when you got Jaden on a rookie deal, we all know we had the same discussion. You gotta take advantage of that. Nah, give me Slowick for five. Trust me. Slowick. Yeah, he lost, but his stock went down. I mean, we'll see how about. I mean, he did have a good year with my boy CJ Stroud. But his stock has gone down though. I ain't gonna hold you.
Another great question.
Who are we close? I mean, who are we close to? Last year's team or this year's team? We're in the middle. I feel like we're in the middle. Cause I feel like our defense was always borderline bad. I'm gonna be real with you. I think our defense has always been borderline bad, but we were masked with the way we play football, like to Glen's point, our offense. And we're not just outscoring people, but staying on the football field. Like we're staying on the field and winning the time of possession. So that helped us out. You know what I'm saying? And, look, man, I'm gonna be real too. People here knock B-Rob and all that other stuff. But B-Rob helped us win the time possession type of game because they ran him. I think C-Rob could do the same thing. So it's not like I'm asking for B-Rob back. But I'm just saying, like, that style of back does help this offense out. Like, that's regardless of what else you think, that style of back does help this offense out. So you don't use C-Rob. You're trying to get more explosive plays. Well, that's not working out for your offense. That's not what helped you win last year.
Hey,
you know what I mean? You do miss Austin Eckler, for real. You do miss an Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
to DC Sims' point, right? DC Sim, I'm gonna roll with you.
Where?
Nah, someone we being too nice.
Oh, he's okay.
So is Adam Peters or Josh Harris being too nice when it comes to if this team ends up, let's say 3-14? Because Is a Hey Joe, George is a possibility. Look at the rest of the schedule. Right?
It's possible. He's right.
It's a possibility. Look at the rest of the schedule.
It's all possible. Everything's on the table. Don't get it twisted. Everything's on the table.
So you telling me if this team ends at 3-14?
Oh man,
there will be questions.
Losses in a row.
There will be questions about Dan Quinn, and Quinn and this team have to go, right? Because if we look at it, you can't even count the Giants win, or we're at the point we can't even count Miami, right? People are questioning Miami right now, right?
That's right.
So if this team goes lose 12 in a row, you telling me Dan Quinn comes back next year?
I don't think he comes back. I don't think he's coming back, but I think the discussion. I think he comes back, but I think to your point, I mean, it's a discussion. Put it that way. It's a discussion. It went from not being a discussion to a discussion. Put it that way. That's how I don't think it's automatic. I think we're not. This is what I will say. This is not Snyder. That's all I'm saying. Like, we're not. I think it's the fan base. We always put everything to how we are accustomed to seeing things. This is not a Snyder thing. Oh, we ain't dropping links there, but I told you, DC Slim. That's only pre-game, post-game, buddy.
Yeah.
And we're about to close the show.
I want to answer the question. I think we're closer to this year's team as opposed to last year's team.
All right, go ahead. Explain.
Because I understand where Taj is coming from, but what have we been saying about last year? Jaden covered it all up by being great, by being elite. And the fact of the matter is that last year, going in, you, Wole, and I were talking about a 6 or 7 win football team. Yeah, now, we might not even be that right now, but we're far closer to that than a 12-win football team. And that's a fact. So for me, we're closer to this year's team than last. And for that reason, that's why this offseason is so important in terms of what Wole's talked about, spending the money in free agency to get younger, and what I'm talking about, which is getting lots of draft picks in here to get younger that way. Because if we think we're closer to last year's team, there is every chance we might fall in the same trap again, and that would be very bad.
All right, I got me this question for George. Though I'm gonna come to you because George had he mentioned this earlier. So when you talk about like draft picks, so Washington, I have a question for you, George. So Washington gets a top 10 pick, which is possible. Are you trading back?
100% yes.
Okay, know why I disagree with that? Because you said this is why I disagree with that. Only reason why I disagree with that. What is the track record of them banking on those second, third round picks? Because I would make the argument is that they need. This is my thing. They actually need game changers, a guaranteed game changer, rather than like multiple. Like they need a dude. They need dudes. Like they don't need to bypass on getting a dude. Because I'm gonna be real. Like Adam Peters, other than maybe the first round or whatever, I ain't trusting him. Even we get multiple picks, for him to hit them joints. If you got a guaranteed dude, it depends. I guess it depends on what draft who's at 10. I'll say let me put it that way. It depends on who is at this position. Because I'm not if there's studs at 10 that can help my team now that I know that's going to be playing automatically, I'm not trading back. Like I don't care.
I don't think. At least today,
like
I
you
don't
got
think
Tate. So Tate's on the board.
Ruben Bain or Argo are going to be there at 8 or 9 or 10.
No, Tate will be there. Tate is like that. So if Tate is there for Ohio State, there's more dudes than that. There are a lot of dudes. If Tate is there at 10 for Ohio State, you're gonna let that walk at the wide receiver. You're gonna let that walk.
Wait a minute, you just told me we need to go heavy into defense.
No. I'm getting the best. No, I'm getting the best player. Period.
I understand that, but let's remember something. We only got 6 picks.
I know.
We are not going to fix this. We're not going to fix a lot of these things with just 6 picks.
No, this is my point. Your way of thinking, the way that they did this last year. This is the reason why I'm saying it. The way of thinking last year was, all right, there are better players where they were at in that draft. They decided to get Connerly. There were better players in other positions. They said, we're going to fix the O-line. They were better players than Connerly. They just went a route to get to what you just said. Like, we're just going to draft. They were way better players than Connerly.
They were, but they knew they weren't going to get Connerly if they passed on him when they did.
But they still, again, that's my point. That is my point. They're better players. There are players that you can say on Sundays could be quote unquote potential perennial Pro Bowl players by far. Already, they passed them on that. for Connerly. I'm not saying that Connerly's gonna be a bad player. Don't get me wrong. I think year 3 he'll be fine. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that thought now people are complaining about that pick right now. People are complaining about that pick right now.
No, I know. No, I
that's what I'm saying.
That, and I
They're
understand
better.
Why. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like trade. If you're gonna like, all right, I mean, real. If you talk about the Eagles trading back, I wouldn't care. I would agree with you because the Eagles kind of hit. They hit on their draft picks. They'd be like,
well,
yeah.
I mean, again, Adam Peters' record in the middle of the draft with San Francisco was pretty good, and he was the one largely responsible for those picks in that part of the draft.
Well, has his draft been good in Washington?
It's too early to tell. It's been hit and miss.
It's been hit and miss.
All right, that's where I'm at right now. That's what I'm saying. If you give me a 10 and I got me a stud at 10, I ain't trading back like for a stud. If I got a stud, if I got a Micah Parsons, don't get around. If I got a Micah Parsons about to hit me up at 10, I ain't trading back. I don't care, but I don't care if a second.
If somebody that good's there at 10, then okay.
I ain't trading back. If it's like, all right, I can get another player close to that.
I don't know if any of these players are going to be there at 10.
Well, no. There's a lot of good players at 10. There are a lot of
good players at 10, but quarterbacks aren't going to get overdrafted this year.
Well, I'm not saying
like the only one that's going in the top 10 is the kid from Indiana.
Yeah, probably.
So, to me, a lot of really good position players
you're going to always
get drafted in the top 10.
You're always going to get like this one thing. You're always going to get tackles. They're going to be a quarterback that slips in this first round who sucks, and they always do it. It's going to slip into the top 10.
Yeah, but not in the top 10 this year.
They say every year.
I'm telling you right now, there's only one QB going in the top 10
every year.
this year.
They say this every year, George. They say this every year. They say this every year around this time, and all of a sudden, when the scouts hit up, oh my God, he could be a top 10 pick. They do this every year.
Hold up, and George, is that quarterback? Is that quarterback last name Manning?
No, that quarterback's last name is the kid from Indiana, Mendoza.
Yeah.
Then you got
Banana Mendoza is going to go probably 1 or 2.
To my point, to the point of this, to Taj's question, this team is closer to last year. I'm going to tell you why this team is closer to last year.
Totally agrees with you, George. FYI.
Right. Sure. If this team does not have Jaden Daniels last year, this team is 7-10. Jaden Daniels won 5 games on the last drive himself last year. 5 games. So you take out his 5 games, 5 last drive wins. And this team does not make the playoffs. This team is 7-10. Right? So that's why this team, we'll see where this team ends up this year. Probably like 7-10 because you won't have Jaden Daniels. It's like last year.
Yeah, but I like this question from DC Slam said, what 3 positions would y'all pick first? I'll let you from the draft. George, go ahead. What 3 positions?
Linebacker.
Mm-hmm. You can get a linebacker in the second round.
Wide receiver.
In the third round.
And cornerback. Cornerback.
Okay. All right. So do you not even edge rusher over? You got linebacker over edge rusher?
Yeah. I mean, look.
We don't in the first round, George. You get a linebacker in the second, third round. George, I'm not sure who the first round linebackers are, if there are any. Me either. I got you.
Because again, remember, I'm also trading back to.
Yeah, you're trading back though. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm trading back. So,
all right,
there might be a linebacker at 20, for instance, that fits what we're looking for.
That's fair. All right, I'll go with edge rusher is number 1 for me. I just they need pressure. That's just it is what it is. Edge rusher, safety. They need a safety. And because you're gonna move, because Mikey's gonna be moved, and Mike's gonna be outside. What's name's gonna be gonna be on the outside because Lattimore's not coming back. And wide receiver. I'll go wide receiver. I go edge, safety, and wide receiver. And truth be told, on the later rounds, I ain't going to hold you. I would consider getting a running back too. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Would consider getting a running back.
Yeah, in round 5 or 6 or 7, sure.
Yeah, I would. Depending on, I would consider getting a running back.
Yeah,
if we're in the first round, edge, corner, corner, yeah.
Yep, I go Taj. I agree with you, Taj. That was my suggestions. That was me. That was my.
That's
choice.
about right too. Like edge,
I would
do
that
too.
And playmaker safety, because you guess what? If you get 2 corners with Trey Amos, you get the lockdown, right? So, yeah.
Because you got Mikey's gonna play the other outside. Mikey's gonna play the other outside because Lattimore's not gonna be back anymore.
Yeah.
So Mikey will be your outside corner. So
if that's the case, Mikey should be outside corner this week.
Yeah, he will. I think. we know Mike's the outside. He better. And if Mikey's not okay, I ain't gonna lie. Joe Whitt and Dan Quinn better be fired ASAP. But Mikey's not playing outside. That'd be ridiculous.
We'll see.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous.
Because
running back, linebacker, corner. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. DC running back ain't been nice. I ain't gonna hold you.
It hadn't been used properly. Our running backs haven't been used properly.
Yeah, running back ain't been nice. I ain't gonna tell you all that jazz. No, running back has not been nice. I was letting y'all. Hey George, I ain't disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, for what running back situation has not been nice.
I blame Cliff for that because I like these 3 running backs and we're not using them properly.
Yeah, I'm
a running back in day 3 of the draft. Absolutely, I'm not going to turn my nose up at that.
It is hard when you put 8 in the box, George, because they don't trust you. They dare your receivers to beat you. The receivers, the receivers that you have that have no name, right?
Oh, you're right, but use all your running backs. Don't wait till it's 21-0 down to put C-Rod in the game.
Hey, Tell that's what I'm saying. We're gonna find out about Jordan McGee because everybody guessing. I like Jordan McGee a lot actually, but the coaches they talk about him every week about like they love what they see from film from him, so I think Jordan McGee eventually will probably be the middle linebacker. But I do kind of want to see it like Bobby can like. I'm trying to find a way for Bobby to like pull a hamstring or something. That makes sense. Pull a hamstring, and so Jordan McGee can probably play middle. And
McGee played a lot on Sunday night though.
Huh?
McGee
played a lot. I just want to see him play middle. That's all. I want to see him play middle. See if we can play it. Because he has great attributes of playing that style. Like he has great attributes. I kind of think from the presser, you're gonna see a lot of C-Rod, Roy. From the presser I heard and how because Cliff mentioned C-Rod said that C-Rod just he takes what they give him. They use this. He said this compared to everybody else. So take that how you want to take it.
Hey, let him run down here.
He said C-Rod when he sees it, he takes the hole. He takes it. He's not dancing. He's not doing whatever. He takes it and goes. He said that he takes what they give him. I think that's what Cliff said. So C-Rod,
he's not that old, DC Slim. He was drafted in the Rivera regime.
He old. He's still in the early 20s.
Yeah, he got drafted like 4 years. He only been in the league for like 4 years. Like 4 years in the league.
And this show has had a Chris Rodriguez agenda for a while, so we're not going to be unhappy to see him get an opportunity.
He's 25, bro. Chris Rodriguez 25, bro.
And he doesn't have a lot of tread off his tires because he's got the ball in the NFL.
And also, you don't got miles.
Even though every time he's played well.
Oh, he is a running back. Oh, I know you're talking about old style running back. You talking about old style running back?
He's saying he's running back old. I want to agree with that.
He ain't running back old. No. 25 and no mileage, bro. That ain't old. 25. You saying he run like the old school running back? I get you. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, I get you.
Old school running back, but he ain't old. He got like 2 miles on him. He like exactly. He got like 2 miles. He like that when you about to get a new car and it says like it's already got like 4,000. It got 4,000 miles. You be like, oh, that's still relatively new. 2,000 miles on it. It got 2,000 miles on it. You be like, yeah, it's still relatively new.
He ain't dry rotted yet. You know, you got the spare tires stay in the trunk so long.
Yeah, he ain't there. He ain't there yet.
He spent a lot of time on the practice squad though.
Yeah, no, he be chilling. I you know what I'm saying? I do want to see my man Donovan Edwards get signed off the practice squad. I think he can do some damage for the team. It's Taj. Ruben Bain, edge, Caleb Downs, safety, R.L. Reese, linebacker, Mansour, Delane, cornerback, Tate, wide receiver. Tate like that. Or how you can never go wrong with Ohio State.
They're all going in the top 10. All of them guys.
Huh? Yeah.
All them guys are going in the top 10.
Like, and real talk, ain't gonna lie to you. We can get lower in the top 10 if we wanted to. Like, real talk. We
may end up there. I'm just saying, do not be surprised if every one of those people is gone by 7 or 8. Because I'm telling you, one quarterback's going in the top 10 and that's it.
Yeah.
You know how many wide receivers get drafted? Like, this is the thing. All these players won't get – it doesn't never work that way. This is what I'm saying. Safeties aren't going to be drafted. Safeties are never drafted in the top 10.
Yeah, this one will be. Caleb Downs is different. He is what's the last one that was drafted in the top 10 a couple of years ago who's awesome? Who am I thinking of? There was one recently that was drafted in the top 10 and he's a stud and I can't think of his name. Dang it. I'm going to look it up. I'm gonna look it up right now.
It is rare, George. And believe me, the individual who's part of this mock draft. I hate it. Mock draft stuff. It is rare for. Oh, here you go. Top 10. Downs is 7. They got down 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I look. We might be taking Downs in the top 10.
Yeah, we can
if we
take
don't trade back.
10. We can take down top 10. He'll be around. He could be around. They have Reese for Ohio State, like the 11th best prospect.
Who's another Mike? Who's like mini Micah Parsons?
Yeah, who's 11th? Who's 11 prospect. George, like you said, they got the Indiana Indiana Bain 2 edge rusher, Miami. You got Falk. So they're Falk. You got Falk, the D tackle for Auburn. Clemson Woods D line. Dante Moore quarterback. They do got a quarterback in the top 10. I knew they would. Oregon. They give them Oregon. They got one in the top 10. So they got 2 in the top 10. You got Miami, the tackle, Mauga, I think, Caleb Downs, Jordan Tyson. This is all subjective too, so don't get it twisted. It's all subjective. Mm-hmm. They got it they say Washington may try. Well, this is early. This 13. They said Washington may go for David Bailey out of Texas Tech. So I'm just saying, like, there are players. There will be players. Like, you're in the top 10. Some of those players will be available. Some of them will be. Players will be available. If you're in the top 10, you're out. If you're out of the top 10, George, to your point, then yeah, that gets kind of dicey. Because people always slip. Look at I'm maybe a big Michigan fan. Will Johnson, it could be injuries or whatever, was a guaranteed top 5, top 10 pick. Guaranteed. He's a second round pick.
Yeah.
And he's the highest rated cornerback in the NFL.
14-team race for the bottom.
Highest rated. He's the highest rated rookie cornerback in the NFL right now. Mm-hmm. I've been saying since the all season, T-Ross should be one saying a lot about his coach, this coaching staff that they're just realizing. It's crazy to tell you. I'm telling you, it's crazy. This opportunity.
It was. We were talking about this last year. When he would get in C-Rod, he would do well, and then he wouldn't get a chance, and it would drive us insane.
It get work, man. Like you trade B-Rob, right? And you know what I'm saying? And he's supposed to take that role.
Yes,
he's supposed to take that role. You don't even give him the opportunity.
Yeah, because he's a downhill runner.
And it worked for you. It's not like downhill runners don't work for your offense. It does actually work. That's the wildest thing, though. Your downhill runners do work for your offense.
Downhill runner who hangs onto the football.
Yeah.
Who has breakaway speed.
So what we've learned today is Joe Whitt. He is, Joe Whitt. The Commanders he may be on his last leg, but we've learned that the Detroit game will be we'll learn a lot from this Detroit game.
Yeah, Joe Whitt. Definitely.
We also learned that that there's levels to defensive coordinators. Like, so when folks say Joe Whitt needs talent, we're not going to argue with that. He does need talent. So we learned that as well. But we also know that he's not good enough to coach up so talent.
Yeah.
He's just not good enough to coach up so talent. And we learned that DC Slim wants all the coaches fired.
And he is consistent. DC Slim is very consistent about that, which we appreciate.
I do think DC Slim, to your point, I think we do need to go younger in coaching in some areas. I think your DB coach should be.
Oh yeah, we need to be younger.
I think your DB coach should be one of the young coaches. Connect to those guys. I think where you enjoy have young players.
Though. Yeah, he wants experience as well. I mean, I feel it can go either way. I mean, some of these players need. I mean, we do gotta get younger as a team now. I agree. We got younger. We can't keep getting these. I mean, it's good to build culture. I think you need vets to build culture. I'm a believer in that. You do need vets to build culture, but once they kind of help cultivate a culture, then you got to kind of add on to it, and then you got to push those vets out, and then your young guys should be mature enough to now run the ship. That's why I think it's essential right now to kind of take advantage of Jordan McGee and let him learn under Bobby as much as possible, and then that's when you got to kind of get Bobby out of here. That's how I look at it. Like, and I like, Glenn, I like Bobby.
I've been wanting Bobby a couple years ago, so I know you like. I like Bobby. He was on that bandwagon with me.
We both, me and you were both trying to get Bobby out here. So, but it is what it is. Like, Bobby gotta help. It's about building the culture, building the environment, and now you gotta get these young guys in there that kind of like learn from it, and now they got to be the future of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to give them the opportunity to kind of like, I mean, the good ones too, not just throw out any young player to throw young players out. Because some of y'all be like, Kane Madrano should play, and I'm like, that dude trash. I'm sorry. Like, Madrano. Like, Shane Madrano just fast. He ain't. Have y'all watched? I mean, come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Watch his clips. That man can't tackle. Y'all want somebody that's like Cody Barton when he was here, and like y'all, like he fast, he can't tackle. Like,
We're putting the Cody Barton slant
on. It's like people because
I was forgot about that guy, man. Come on,
no, because everybody always talk about somebody fast, and they never talk about if he can tackle or not. Like, it's like when you play that position, like a linebacker, you still be able to tackle. And just because you fast don't mean you can cover.
Call him Mason Foster, why don't you? God dang.
Nah, Mason Foster was slow. At least I'm giving him fast. Like, I'm giving him fast. Mason Foster just slow.
By the way, I want to remind Timothy Park something. Yes, if I had my way, Whitt would be out of here. But the first person to put the clock on Joe Whitt was this gentleman above me in the panel here. The gentleman with the headphones on.
My man
put the clock on Joe Whitt last year near the end of the season.
George, you stay forgetting about me, bro. That's messed up. Because I was saying,
I mean, Glen was doing it before any of us.
I was doing it here. I was looking at that Wait, Glen, what you were you doing the off season, Glen?
Yeah,
I'm talking about during the season last year. Glen
I did during the season.
I did the season as well.
We both did during the season. That's why George, you be. I thought we was tight, George.
It's getting late, man. It's getting late. It's getting late on George. It's getting late on George. It's getting late. George getting make things. It's like
David Mayo. Yeah, no, we nobody. Look,
David Mayo. Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
Look again. I'm not doing David Mayo like that. Dan, I'm not doing David Mayo like that because again, I mean, I'm not doing Madrano like that.
Madrano's not slow. That's true.
David Mayo's slow. Look, I'm not doing. Look, I'm not racist. I'm not doing every white linebacker. I'm saying this dude is just slow. Like, I'm not doing that. All right, I'm just saying I'm saying he fast. He just can't tackle. Like, I can't try to find an example. Like, because everybody's so enamored with speed. If that's the case, we'd have kept Jamin Davis. You know what I'm saying? Like, he fast as hell. Like, you can't barely. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, he looking for a job.
Nah, we don't need no Jamin.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I know, right? Yeah. That's fair.
We don't do retreads.
No, I won't do retreads. Look, man, we don't do retreads at all. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I would take Montez Sweat back.
Look, man, you know who you should take it back? Who else having a good year?
I'm not. We're not going there. It's time to go home.
I'm gonna say he came back and got 3 sacks in 4 games. Hey, you said Sweat. I'm just saying. I just came back with somebody else.
He's maturing. He looks better. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Winston had his first interception. He had his interception last week too.
Yeah, he did.
Oh man, Forbes had an interception last week. I'm naming another player.
Forbes did have his interception.
He playing better too? Is he? St. Jude's playing better over there? Over in St.
I mean, he had a pick in one of the games for the Chargers, but he also got toasted a bunch of times too. The same game.
I mean, everybody. I mean, I feel like those players are.
They just didn't fit. Those two.
Wait. Forbes and they played here last year, so let me be fair. Forbes and St. Jude's played.
They just didn't fit.
Yeah, they. I mean, I'm gonna say fit. They didn't know what. We can say they don't fit. Let me say they don't fit.
Forbes, I'm gonna give Forbes a pass because he had PTSD from the year before.
Yeah, I know he was getting.
And so, but St. Jude's doesn't get a pass.
No, St. Jude's got burned by like a one-legged dude. I'll never forgive that.
Yeah,
I'll never forgive that. Like, he ain't. I'm sorry. Hey, Rory, I know, man. I'm sorry. I can't. Rory, you could be right. I just can never forgive that. Like, I can never forgive that.
There's Jeremy to make the Wegmans joke when we need him.
Yeah, PSA might be. I'm sorry. Again,
hey, both of them 15
I got PTSD. Like, we gotta go. I got PTSD. We gotta go, y'all. We got PTSD. I know you could be right. You could be right, but I would want the one-legged situation would never ever like work with.
Hey, it is both of them. This dude's got 15-yard penalty, 15-yard penalty, 15-yard penalty.
Yeah. All right, y'all, man. But hey, we appreciate y'all pulling up with us, man. Like, this has been dope. We had a good time, man. It's like 12 o'clock, and we've been talking like football, Joe Whitt, and then we went through other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that was cool. Yeah. Man. y'all kind of took the show to another direction, which we always appreciate. Before we end this show, make sure we got to knock out some housekeeping and subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Go Errrything. Also tweet us at ABG_Errrything. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at ABG_Errrything. Make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Errrything YouTube channel. Hit that red subscribe button. And folks already in this chat, hit that like button. Like. Appreciate it. Hey, yo, yeah, working at Wegmans. Said Jeremy working at Wegmans. Said BSG said St. Jude's working at Wegmans. Trash. Also, y'all don't forget, man, Sunday, we're going to have our pre- and post-game show for the Commanders versus Lions game. The pregame show will air at 3 o'clock p.m. Since it's a 4 o'clock time. So make sure y'all pull up at 3 o'clock. Shoot the breeze. We'll have a good time. Hopefully there's no massacre or something. We all can be like good for the post game. Hopefully the game is like competitive. No, I just hope they compete. I don't even care about it. I hope they compete. I'm going there now. Just compete.
Kelly, thank you.
Appreciate you, my guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, my guy. Like, yeah, just compete. That's all I want from y'all. I won't even ask for a victory. Just want you to compete.
Yep.
All right. Anyway, man, I appreciate everybody in the chat for pulling up, man. You guys are dope. You said Jeremy at Wegmans. Hey, chill out, Roy. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Go Errrything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. Yeti deuces. We are out. Peace.